Call meeting order.
God, was that loud enough?
Well, I know when you elderly people, I want to make sure you heard it.
Somebody emailed me wanting to know how they can pay them off.
Okay.
Probably. I'll find out when they send me the. Send that guy that quote for PLI. Anybody send here?
She isn't coming?
I don't think so, no. She was going to help out at,
Is there a note down there on the table for her?
no, that's, Bush's note.
Oh, okay.
Oh, somebody called and left, I sent him a text and then I wrote a note to him.
Do you recall a bill from Gillum's?
Who?
Gilman's?
Oh, we always get a bill from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They called me on the phone is why I asked.
Really?
Said that Wayne ordered post sleeves.
Uh-huh. He's out here, I guess, they're gonna move the
Okay.
sign.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in the process of moving the sign. They're gonna move them back just a little bit farther so they can get in and out better when they
See.
push snow and stuff, I guess, come in with equipment.
So that was ours, not his.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they were ours, yeah. Street department's been real busy lately.
Yeah, we saw
Yeah.
it in
I
patching.
saw on Friday,
Yeah,
but the railroad sign got fixed, but they said there's one missing.
it don't surprise me.
What's missing?
A railroad sign.
Railroad sign,
Oh,
just the sign or the post and all. Did they say?
I thought it was just a
that's
sign.
a sewer.
I don't know, because they said it was on this side. I thought
It's been,
it's missing or something.
Excuse
Anybody got any
me.
questions about the minutes from last month's meeting?
it's been running for a long time.
Did the check thing get taken care of on the
Lost check?
reimbursement? Yeah.
Start
Okay.
payment on it.
Scott get one.
I got one.
Okay, I need that.
And then, what's the word on Ben for Lonnie?
He's been sworn in.
Okay.
Currently, we have 4 reserve officers and 1 town marshal.
Okay. And then the grass notices, did they get taken care of?
Send them out.
Okay.
Yeah. Send them out the next day after the meeting. Bud signed them. Took care of them, I mailed them.
How many did you have to send out?
Got any
It's 5
questions
or
about the
6,
minutes,
wasn't
Kathy?
it?
No, I do not.
Got anything else?
No.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from last month's meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion been made, properly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say the same.
Okay, it'd be in the yellow.
Thank you.
I believe we sent out 6 of them, though.
Excuse me?
I think we sent out maybe 6 grass.
Oh, heck, that was a month ago when I signed it. There was more than one.
Yeah.
Another day. Anybody want some water?
I think
I'm good with it.
Anybody need a water?
coffee.
Hmm?
I got coffee.
Well, first thing on here says appearance by citizens. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Better
6?
Sign in.
Oh, yeah.
Pass that
Yeah,
around,
please do.
Derringer, please. I got a feeling they're here about this chicken ordinance. Or the petition for the chickens. Thank you for going door to door. That was nice of you to do that. I do see that there's addresses on there also, which is good. So these people that want them or don't want them?
They either want them or don't care if their neighbors have them. Like they don't, it's on their neighbor's property, and if they don't disturb, they don't care.
This is the proper way, I think, to do it. What you need to understand too, though, is regardless of what comes out of a nice meeting, there's going to have to be some additions to the ordinance to make it work.
And what do we do in between time? For those that have chickens?
Well, I don't have chickens, so I don't know.
Rick? What do we do in between
Currently-
time?
What variance? If you're you have to grant a variance.
Exactly. Or, there's two options. One is, the way the ordinance is wrote, you can't have a chicken, so the chicken's gotta go. Or, we can, as a board, grant a variance until the ordinance is done. Everybody know what I mean by that?
I do.
You look like you're a little ticked off. I like that. That's good.
Oh, we've had chickens for a while.
4 years that we've lived here.
I've heard that. Well,
We
It's
got
called-
another person in town's got a goat, 2 goats.
Well,
It's
that's-
totally illegal.
That's a hoofed animal.
don't matter. It's a hooked animal.
And
Regardless of what it is,
I gotta
what's
see
the
it.
ordinance say about chickens?
No.
Yeah, it does.
It says no chickens.
There's no chickens.
Pull the book out. Ron, would you please? Oh, you got it. It's on 90.2, 90.3 something.
well, I know the person that complained, and I know the reason why she complained.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, that could be
But when
personal stuff, you know.
Is there anything that
Okay,
the town can do
how do
about
you
all the
add
stray
this
cats in the town?
The numbers are down the side, on the left side of the sheet.
If there's straight.
And if you go clear to
I'll be
90,
glad to pay that.
Show him where the numbers are, Rick,
Huh?
Bud.
If there's straight.
Rick
cats
Bud,
that need to be
Yeah,
okay.
Rick Bud.
fixed,
Okay,
I'll be
Kat.
glad.
It's
to
clear
pay
back
to
at the
have
back,
them fixed.
under
If they're
90.
I'll be glad to remove them, just like I removed the coons that trying to get in my house.
It's like title article chapter thing, you know?
I'm an animal
But
lover.
they do it, it's like 90 is the.
I'll just take them out to the farm.
Huh?
I'll just take them out to the farm.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I'll take them out to the farm,
What farm?
my parents' farm.
With the cats? That ordinance addresses those cats too.
What, somebody make you
That'd be
remove cats?
Because I'm tired of cleaning the cat crap out of my front yard.
When did you change that on cats?
When was
Say
the,
what?
When did it change it on the cats?
Cats are allowed.
Well, yeah, they're allowed. I thought you meant they wasn't allowed.
Oh, no,
No, no, they
Oh,
are.
okay, okay, I'm
They
sorry.
are.
They're here under feral cat.
Right, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You'd have a lot more mice in town if you didn't have some feral cats.
It lists the animals that are
Not
not
really,
permitted.
because the cats get fed way too much.
Yeah, they're not actively
You
hunting.
feed a cat, they ain't gonna hunt mice.
A lot of them don't get fed.
A lot of them do get fed.
Oh,
I
do you-
couldn't stand to let an
feed 'em?
animal go
You
hungry.
help
I
feed
don't
'em?
care what kind of animal it is.
I mean, they do get fed.
Did
a
you
lot.
find it?
Yeah.
I love animals, okay? I get it out there. I love animals.
I found it when I was doing this, it's 9002 something.
Yeah, 9001 through
Here's a whole list of what you can and cannot
04.
have.
Yeah. And it,
This is where I had to pull numbers from.
all right, would you like me to read this ordinance to you guys? I will.
Yeah.
For the purpose of this chapter, the following definitions shall apply unless the context clearly indicates or requires a different meaning. Animal is a vertebrate animal not including any human being. I figured somebody laughed at that. At large, a pet animal shall be deemed to be at large when it's off the property of its owner and not under the control. Example, leashed, obedient to commands, or caged. If its owner or other competent of its owner or other competent person. Cat colony, a managed group of one or more feral cats that has undergone trap, neuter, release, and been returned to its colony caretaker. See, the way you can tell if a cat has been neutered.
Notch in their ear.
Yeah.
You got notch?
Yeah, I got
You got neutered?
Blown out.
Did the vet do it for you?
Well,
Well,
he's a doctor.
Oh,
He's in the military.
they had to come help him.
Colony caretaker, person who provides food, water, and necessary shelter to a cat colony. Colony caretakers are not deemed to be owners of feral cats. Dangerous, vicious, any pet animal that, because of its individual temperament or breed, propensity, endangers the safety or injures a human being. We've had that here in this town.
Not much happened with it.
yeah.
Excuse me?
I said not much happened with it.
It's not there anymore.
Because they moved.
This definition shall also include pet animals that injure or kill another animal without provocation, and dogs trained for the purpose of dog fighting. Exotic animal, any animal requiring a special permit from the state or Department of Natural Resources. That would be like a beaver,
Raccoon.
coon, wolf, fox, I don't know. Exotic. Feral cat, any cat that has no apparent owner or identification and is wild, untamed, unsocialized, unmanageable, and unable to be approached or handled. Livestock, cattle, calves, horses, ponies, mules, donkeys, swine, sheep, goats, llamas, alpacas, chickens, and ducks. Owner, a person who keeps, houses, or harbors pet animals or small animals. Harboring occurs when a pet animal or small animal is fed or sheltered for 7 consecutive days or more. Pet animal, any domesticated cat, dog, rabbit, ferret, rat, or reptile. Small animal, any mouse, fish, turtle, hamster, chinchilla, gerbil, and caged bird. Town is the town of Greensfork. Wild animal is any non-domesticated, free-roaming animal to include feral cats. Hi, Brenda.
Hey.
Type of animals permitted in town limits. No resident of the town shall be permitted to own or temporarily confine any type of animal other than a pet animal or small animal within the town's corporate limits. Number of pet animals permitted. A resident of the town shall not own more than 4 pet animals over the age of 6 months within the town's corporate limits. Owners with more than 4 pet animals at the time of passage of this chapter shall be exempt this section subject to the following. A resident owner shall be permitted to maintain his or her current pet animal population until the pet animals expire or are relocated, but shall not be permitted to replace pet animals until that population is below 4 pet animals. Excuse me. Rabies vaccinations required. All dogs, cats, and ferrets 3 months of age and older must be vaccinated against rabies. The rabies vaccination of a dog, cat, and ferret shall be maintained by ongoing revaccination of the animal as follows. Ferrets shall be revaccinated within 12 months of the prior vaccination. Dogs and cats that are vaccinated with a rabies vaccine whose label recommends annual boosters shall be revaccinated within 12 months of the prior vaccination. Dogs and cats that are vaccinated with a rabies vaccine whose label recommends a booster 1 year later, and triennially, okay.
Probably a distemper shot.
Yeah, triennially, and thereafter shall be revaccinated within 12 months of the first vaccination and shall be revaccinated within 36 months of each vaccination thereafter. The owner of the animal is responsible for procuring the vaccinations required by this section. Proof of rabies vaccination shall be required for all dogs or cats found running loose or involved in a bite incident. running at large. No person owning or having control of a pet animal shall permit an animal to run at large within the town corporate limits. The town police department may confine any pet animal caught running at large until it is either released to its owner or transported to a county animal sheltering facility.
That applies to cats then too.
What?
That would apply to cats then too. wouldn't it?
Now cats,
Who's gonna catch the cats?
nah, cats are, you're not gonna find anywhere in the state of Indiana, man, where they catch, you can go out and start catching cats and turn them in. Nobody
They
does
won't
that.
even come and pick them up.
Yeah, they barely come in and get dogs.
I called the
I
county.
got a
I
question
had,
then.
in my garage, down at the old place down there, I had a total of 13 cats in there up above, tore my attic all to pieces. And I had 9 little ones. And they wouldn't even, they said, you gotta take care of them little ones till they get so old, now I come pick them up. Well, that means if I feed them, they're my cats.
See,
7 days.
He brings up an interesting point though too, because I actually caught a cat on my motorcycle seat one time, and if that cat tears my seat up, then is the owner gonna pay for a new motorcycle seat?
If it's a
I
feral
don't think
cat, it's
you're
not
even liable
owned.
if your cow tears up something anymore.
It's civil,
I think used to
that's all civil,
owner who
the
had a
town has
cow
nothing to do with
before
that.
Wait a minute,
something,
one
they
at a
were
time.
liable. I don't think you're liable if your cow tears something up now. I don't think the owner would be.
I don't
Cat
think that's
or
right.
dog or cow.
Oh,
And of course
if a
they're-
cow gets off the property and is strayed and causes damage, that farmer is 100% responsible.
I
Are
didn't
you the
think they
cat
were.
owner
I didn't
if
think
you're-
they were anymore.
Oh no,
I
they're,
don't think they enforce it.
matter of fact, the farmers usually pay cash, don't even turn it into their insurance, just for that reason.
Are you a
That
cat
was a
owner if you're a
thing
colony
going
cat
on.
feeder?
So that's the problem you got. You got people who feed cats, who like cats, but then that's where their responsibility ends though.
They're feral cats, right?
Feral cats, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either.
So
People who like
they're
cats,
not considered owners.
I don't know. I don't know about that. If you feed a cat, at some point, if you feed a cat and they brought in more cats, who's responsible for that?
Well, raccoons do the same thing.
Yeah,
Well,
we just had that. They just had
well,
to
I mean,
eradicate
I don't know
a bunch
people
of
who feed
those.
raccoons though.
Well, your trash, your scraps.
I mean,
I mean, it happens.
They actually moved into the house next door for a while.
That was a picture.
raccoon.
Yeah,
But they
those-
destroyed my
tear the
kitchen
shit
ceiling,
out
cost me over
inside the
$700
house or attic.
completely.
They were trying to get into our attic.
Yeah.
And my daughter's
climbed on the
house,
roof.
we've had raccoons. Becky had raccoons. She had to call an exterminator.
I think raccoons are considered a
Benny.
nuisance creature, so I mean, you're not required for special permit or anything to evict them from your property.
Yeah, we got yelled at for that though.
Yeah.
For evicting what?
The raccoons.
Evicting? What do you mean?
We captured them and let them loose, and at another in the woods.
So what's wrong with that?
Who
We got
yelled at
yelled at.
Huh?
We got yelled at for it.
I was just asking who.
I-
yelled at you.
Oh.
Oh.
I've done that, I don't know how many times. Safe tracked a coon and moved it on down the road.
Let me finish reading this real quick, please. Town police department may confine any pet animal caught running at large till it's either released. Okay, we read that. The owner shall be responsible for the daily cost of impoundment of the pet animal. The owner shall also provide proof of compliance with 9004. That is, your shots and all that.
What is the cost on that anyways? Do we have it
We've
set?
never charged anyone, we've never set a cost. All
what?
we've ever, for a dog or a pet that's put out there in the kennels.
We try to get the owner. If not, then I mean, county used to come.
Newcastle will
It's-
take them, they'll kill them, county won't.
Right. Wayne County's a no-kill.
And that's due to the commissioners.
Oh, that's.
All 4
I
animal
don't like
shelters
killing
are.
animals, but
But now they're probably full now.
yeah, they're full.
Well, as long as you're gonna have, people breeding dogs, you're gonna have an issue. Okay. Let's see, quiet 2, no owner within the town's corporate limits shall allow his or her pet animal to disturb the peace and quiet of any other person by failing to control prolonged periods of barking, howling, or other loud noises. The time of day and circumstances surrounding the incident may be considered before a warning or violation is issued, but continuous noise shall not be permitted to exceed 30 minutes. Actually, I thought that was 15, but I stand corrected. 30 minutes, nor intermittent noise to exceed 2 hours. Everybody understand what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. Removal of excrement. An owner or person,
Excuse me, I don't think we need to read anymore. All they wanted to know was what animals were prohibited. Does anybody else want any more information from here?
well, my thing is, the reason I wanted to read this ordinance, and I think we're about done with it anyway, was that none of them has ever read the ordinance or seen the ordinance before. This might include something that they're thinking about doing, and this might nip it in the bud, or it might give them fuel to say, you said when you read the ordinance that we could do this or we could do that. But I'll quit reading if you want.
No, it's
Okay.
not up to me.
Okay.
I don't care either.
You guys want me to continue or stop? It doesn't matter.
I'm getting tired listening to your mouth.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting tired listening to your mouth.
Oh, good, I'll read it then. All right, an owner of a person responsible for pet animals is required to immediately remove the animal's excrement from any public land or from the private property of any other person within the town's corporate limits. Violations issued under this section shall be issued to the adult owner of the pet animal. No animal left unattended in a vehicle. Roaming feral cats. I definitely want to read this because there seems to be some questions about them. Cats that are kept as pet animals are subject to all the requirements of this chapter. Feral cats are not considered pet animals, but colony caretakers are required to manage their cat colonies by having each cat in the cat colony sterilized, immunized, and ear-tipped to identify the cat within 30 days of the cat's arrival to the cat colony. When not identified as in compliance with this section, feral cats are subject to trapping and relocation or humane euthanasia. Trapped cats found to be ear-tipped must be released back into the area from which they are trapped.
What did you say, caretaker? Is that what you just said? So someone, so whoever's feeding them, they're responsible to get them fixed and then to have their ears clipped so they can be identified.
Well, I'll tell you what you'll find out, the ones that have their ears clipped have been taken to animal care alliance and they've been fixed.
Right.
That's why they clip their ear. Here's something else I want to address too. Sheltering area for the animal must provide protection from adverse weather conditions, heat, cold, wind, rain, and snow, and must allow the animal to remain completely dry. If tied, the animal must have a comfortable buckle, collar, or harness, no chains, ropes, choke collars, which pinch collars or similar devices are permitted, and a tie-out length of at least 15 feet is required. The tie-out must allow the animal access to its food, water, and shelter, and must provide the animal space to lie outside of puddles, mud, and excrement. Proper care must be provided to protect animals from internal and external parasites, and veterinary care must be provided to treat injured and sick animals. The last thing in this, and I'm just going to read it anyway because Nolly likes hearing me read. He didn't know I could read, did you really? Determination of dangerous, vicious animals. Upon the town's receipt of a sworn complaint or bite report, the incident shall be investigated by the town police department to determine whether the animal involved fits the criteria of dangerous, vicious. Law enforcement personnel may also initiate investigations when there is information leading them to believe that an animal may be dangerous or vicious. If sufficient evidence exists to declare an animal dangerous or vicious, the owner shall be required to obtain liability insurance, which is exactly what happened when Scott's mother got bit. Insurance specific to that animal, to have the animal securely confined while on the owner's premises, and to be in their immediate restraint by way of a leash when off the owner's premises. Here it talks about penalties. Violation 904 shall result in a fine of $25 and the requirement of an immediate rabies vaccination. Violation of 90.02, 03, 05, 6, 7, 8, and 9 shall result in a fine of $25 for the first offense and $50 for the second each subsequent offense. Violations of 90.10 and 90.11 shall result in a fine of $50 for the first offense and $100 for the second offense. In addition, the animal may be seized. Animals seized under 90-10 shall be held for readoption, while animals seized under 90.11 shall be ordered humanely euthanized. Failure to pay any violation to the town within 14 days of receipt of the violation shall result in a doubling of the fine amount. Failure to pay any violation within 30 days of receipt of the violation shall result in the town seeking enforcement of the violation and penalty by way of a court appearance before the town court of the town of Hagerstown, Indiana, at which the town will seek a judgment for the payment for the violation and all costs and fees, including attorney fees, in so proceeding.
Rick brought up
That's
to
it.
me, that it had been at his discretion when he issued a violation on the amount of days that they were gonna give people. Mowing, animals that are not allowed, blah, 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 blah. Do we need, as a board, to change that and specifically say how many days? Because
think
Rick
it's
says it's all been
specific,
at his discretion.
It says in there the days and.
No, not when, if he gives you a warning, such as for the chickens, does he say you have 10 days to remove them? Do you have 20 days? Do you have 30?
That'll be wrote in the ordinance.
But I didn't see it.
It's not written in order, that's why it's my discretion.
That's why, and he brought that up
I
to
thought
me.
it said.
Well, I know at least 10 days. I mean, you try to give people as much leeway as possible. We don't want to be so draconian that, hey, you know, that I'm going to be following these rules and I'm going to follow them to the T. If you guys have a problem, you guys come to see, you guys go see the board. If that's the direction you want to go, I can do it. I can do it that way. Or I can try to give people like the goat guy. He had one or two goats. I only seen one. I told him 30 days because he's had it. I'm trying to be, you know, as lenient and not.
Find somebody to take it from him. And
Right.
If you remember the last time we had an issue with chickens, we had an issue with chickens because a neighbor of a lady that had some chickens was kind of a butt. Oh, kind of a butt. So he made a formal complaint. We had to tell the lady, chickens gotta go, chickens are not allowed in town. But we drug that out, wait a minute, we drug that out and it was about 90 days. You gotta understand, we don't go around looking for people violating.
No, we do
We
not.
do not. But if somebody brings something to our attention that is against the ordinance, we have to act as a town board. Simple as that. What was she gonna say?
Was there roosters though?
No.
They didn't have no roosters?
No. She just had chickens.
Chickens ain't really loud, especially not.
Well, it had nothing to do with loud. The person that made the complaint was just not a very nice neighbor. I'll put it that way.
Was it free range?
No.
Well, based on the fact we have a lot of signatures on here, I would make a motion, we grant a variance until, a temporary variance until.
There's a problem with those signatures.
Yeah.
A household is a household, and we have households that have 2 signatures. You can't count that as 2 signatures. A household is a household.
They're still
Everyone
citizens,
gets a
though.
chance to vote.
But I'm saying, how many units do we have in town? 200?
179.
179.
We may have a couple more because of the new
Oh, yeah.
structures.
So what I'm saying is, if we only have 179, are we gonna double that to 358?
But if people are voting or people are letting their, if they got people 16 or 15 or 18, it's just a signature. I guess you would go by 18 and over because that's who's allowed to vote.
Okay?
I mean, I don't know, that's up to you guys to
Where are
decide.
you guys at on people who rent and people who own the properties? I don't, in my opinion, renters shouldn't have a
The
vote.
right to vote?
Just because they're here
I
today
see
and maybe
your
gone
point.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
That would have to be
Well,
entered
next
into
door
the
to the
ordinance
chicken.
that if somebody is renting, then the owner of the property would have to put in writing that they wouldn't care if they had chickens.
Well, what do you
That's
feel
why
we,
you have ordinances to set all the guidelines and all the rules.
Well, it's just like
what do
somebody
you
doesn't
feel
pay
we
their sewer
need
bill, the owner has to
percentage-wise
pay
for
it.
a variance? I'm sorry, Brenda?
That's just like somebody who doesn't pay their sewer bill, the owner is obligated to take, it's on them.
Exactly.
But the person voting for it should not be a renter, in my opinion. Not
So
saying
what
they can't have
percentage
them.
do you
But they
think?
are, and I see where you're coming from, and if they're renting, they are town citizens though, correct? If they live here in town?
What if they're the
They don't pay
neighbors of the
taxes.
chickens? I mean,
Excuse me?
what's that
You got
matter?
a point.
If they're the neighbors to where the chickens are at, why couldn't they vote? They can say yay or nay.
Got a point.
Who renters?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they can't have the chickens if they live here, I'm saying their opinion should
But
not be
I'm saying
considered.
If
I-
a renter
I see where she's
is
coming from.
signing
Right.
the petition, yay or nay, what does it
Even if-
matter? If they're a renter, if they live right next door to
They
where
would
the
be
chickens
li-
are
they
at.
might be living-
Those
You know what,
chickens
this
next
is-
door to me,
all
and
this
I
is
just,
kind
they've
of
never
mute.
bothered me a
If you
bit.
guys are contemplating on doing something with the ordinance or changing it, then say, hey, we're not gonna do anything with chickens for the next 90 days till we figure out what we're gonna do. If you're not gonna change it, then you tell them, hey, we're not changing the ordinance, and give you ample time to get rid of your chickens, cause that way we're not going back and forth with this.
Well, we have 189
Households.
households. There's a total of 89 signatures there.
Right. But that would be no different than saying that your signature and your husband's signature, they should count.
That's true, I mean,
You both
As far
vote
as-
for
yeah, I get that.
politics, but
Right. I mean, yeah. But then you got households who don't agree. I'm sure you got man and wife who don't agree. They don't.
I'm sure that somebody told you they didn't want to sign it, or they did want to sign it, or,
Everybody that I went to the door signed it.
oh, so you only went half over town.
Yeah.
Half, I didn't even go north of town. I didn't know to go North Green. I went as far as I could walk with my ankle. I didn't even get the rest of the town. I will if I have to.
And these people that you had that signed it, were they all of legal age?
Yes.
Is that the one that was in the post office too?
I had one in the post office and I walked around town with another
Well,
one.
but the one in the post office disappeared, the original one.
The original one did.
There was one in there a couple days ago.
Yeah, I just took it down today and brought it today, yeah.
I didn't see
Donnie
that.
wants to say something.
You're talking about the chickens. Now, I've been in this town 80 years, and I was a town cop, and I was on the town board. The chicken is what you're saying that it is. We had people had chicken underneath the grandfather clause. You know what that is.
I
Now, anybody else had chicken, they couldn't have.
could bring him in.
You know, give them 10, we'll give them 30 days if they did bought them in 30 days, get rid of them. But I don't know if that's gonna do any good or not, but that's been for years and years and years.
The grandfather clause, the way that works is if,
One dies, you don't get replaced it.
right, you can't replace it. That's what the grandfather meant.
That was made on.
Same thing with Mary Pearson had them cows
She had the
over there.
healthiest
She-
cows ever, 'cause
Yeah.
they never
I
died.
had
old
sheep
cows right
next
next
door to
door.
me.
Didn't she?
I had sheep.
She,
Malcolm Jeffers had sheep.
yeah.
Oh, because he was a bad man.
Well, I'm just gonna say, them chickens live right next door to me and they don't buy, they're entertainment. I'd much rather have them chickens there than that vicious pit bull that was next to you guys.
I don't have anything against chickens except for the diseases, and I grew up on a chicken farm as a kid,
I did too,
and they're nasty, absolutely nasty.
We are a rather small area to have a bunch of chickens.
Well,
If you go to Richmond or somewhere,
when
at
you say
least
a
a few
bunch of
houses
chickens,
between
you
the
see how many
chickens.
people's
How many-
here concerned about this? I just can't see it becoming Chickenville, USA.
Oh, I can.
I do.
Nobody
I
can
mean, how
help
many
what
people
I
want
have.
chickens anyways?
What'd
I
you say,
mean,
Don?
I said, if it does, then it's too late then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I just like the cat, as far as I'm concerned. You read I had the law on the cats too. But the cats, nobody's gonna claim that's their cat. And 90% of the cats you see running loose around here, nobody's claiming.
They're feral.
Right.
Exactly.
How can you catch a cat? I went and caught a cat.
Got live trap 'em.
Safe trap 'em.
Well, and
But-
sadly, nature takes care of them. There's bigger
Well, yeah, but
animals and
meanwhile, they're
predators.
tearing you up. I take a picture of my garage up above in the attic, and you ain't gonna believe how they tore that all to pieces.
You think it was really just cats? You don't
It's
think it was
cats.
You don't think it was raccoons at all?
No, cats fighting up there. Tomcats and
They're
female
fighting-
cats.
They're
Babies.
fighting down behind us all the time, like just about every night.
Probably not fixed.
Because they're hanging around the grain bins because of the mice coming in.
Well, which is helpful
Yeah.
as far as them eating the mice.
And
Yep.
but then they also come onto our properties.
Pooping
poop out the
getting
mice.
Yep.
in the
Well, and
garden.
sadly, if they're not fixed, they spray and they are icky.
And they'll get in that little bitty section of woods behind us too. But
Well, everybody has chickens everywhere. I mean, you can't drive down any highway without 3 or 4 chickens on the side of the road
Running it, yeah.
running around. And honestly, I haven't seen any hit yet. I mean, on 38 or 52 or
oh yeah,
44.
that house
Or,
up here is free range chickens. Just outside town,
East.
just across from.
yeah, I will say though,
That way.
my son's grandmother
Well, no,
and great
I'm
uncle
further
had
up.
free range
No,
chickens.
it's
And that
across from Elnett.
Oh, okay, I know what
it
you're
was
talking
very
about.
nasty. You
Yeah,
couldn't
I've
walk.
seen chickens out there a lot.
You couldn't walk between the houses or from the driveway to the house without stepping in chicken shit. And you tromped it in. I mean, it is dirty if they're free range, way worse than not.
I've never smelled their chickens. You never hear them being,
Better than a veal farm upwind.
yeah, it was awful.
Used to have one of those
All
back
that
in the
running
day.
downhill into the
Yes, we
end of
did.
Eagleville.
As long as there's no roosters.
Feral
I think
cats,
we're
feral
okay.
kids.
There's stipulations. There's,
Yeah, I just
there'll be a
think
lot of stipulations to that
if we were
ordinance.
gonna allow, we go ahead and set up certain restrictions and everything. Because most of the time, those disease and stuff, if you check it, it's on the big places.
It has hundreds of thousands of chickens.
Yeah. So I mean, you're gonna if they get one infection, it's gonna spread in that colony. Whereas if we limit the number they have, then say like we were talking maybe 6, then okay, they got a diseased chicken, then they just kill off their flock and
Who's gonna
start-
police it? Everybody only has 6 chickens.
Nobody.
Police. You said
Yeah.
it when you said police.
That's
You
not even
can't.
realistic.
That's like
Go ahead.
trying to keep
Hang
track
on.
of
Well,
birds.
it ain't like
Yeah, back of
doing
bird.
anything else.
I'll be too busy tracking cats next. I'll be,
Maybe
Well, they
the
should
cats
be
will track
tracking
the birds or
something.
vice versa.
well, the cats will take care of the chickens, I can tell you.
No, they won't. No,
No.
they
I
never
did.
did anything to all those
I-
chickens
I
at
love
Joyce's
chicken.
house. They had as many cats as they did
I mean,
chickens out there.
how many chickens? How many chickens do you have? I've never seen any, so I'm just curious how many you have.
We have
I'm not
9.
going to hold it against you, but I'm going to.
9
Chicken.
We have 9.
I mean, if you had 15, I wouldn't know the difference because I don't ever see them.
15 would be a lot.
You used to have
Yeah,
what, 30,
39's
35?
pushing it.
Yeah, but you lived in the country.
Yeah. And
Of course.
that's
You don't
what
live in town.
has to be understood if this goes the way everybody would like to see it go, and I understand that. There's gonna be stipulations. 9 chickens ain't gonna cut it. You're probably looking at 5.
I'll adopt 4.
Excuse me? You'll adopt 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Becky'd be liable for 4 chickens.
Yes. You'll be down.
Don't worry.
Tammy, probably not.
Now that I would like to see.
The downside is Tammy doesn't cook, so it'd be
Yeah.
Becky won't cook them.
There's nothing wrong with compromising as long as you can find out a way to keep it sanitary. If there's a way to do
That
that,
would be.
And are they allowed to run around, or do they have to be in a
no, they're gonna be in their yard.
Well,
They
you
can't
gotta-
run
Their
their
You
yards.
guys
yard.
can
They
do
don't
it.
need to be confined to their yards. They shouldn't
How
be.
are you gonna keep
That's
them
where your
confined?
ordinance is gonna come in, guys. That's
How do you keep them in your yard?
Well, you don't free range.
What about somebody?
They don't get out
If you
of our
open up a
yard.
chicken, what about somebody wants to open up a goat? You're just gonna keep
They
opening.
get put up. They get put up at night.
Yeah, nighttime you gotta put them up or you'll have raccoons or
like
foxes
we
coming in.
just
and
brought
doing
up.
that.
If you start
Right
with
there.
chickens, does that mean they can go to goats? Is that if you go to a goat, can you go to a small horse?
You're more than welcome to come down here in my
I've
backyard.
always
You don't
wanted a
smell
llama.
them or hardly see them.
Who's ever been attacked by a goat and mauled?
Oh. Sure.
Budded.
More.
Yeah,
Shirley
but not
Moore.
like Not like anything that happened with this
Yes,
mom. I
the
mean,
goat that
goats,
Kyle George's woman
their
had came
poop
out
is
to
like
chase
little
Shirley.
rabbit turds.
That's because they cause accidents. It wasn't the goat's fault.
I love goats.
Yeah,
I'm a
exactly.
big goat
I
advocate.
remember the one you're
I
talking
love
about.
them.
They're
My
good.
favorite pet.
What, goats?
Yep.
He used to stand on his donkey.
You made a motion a minute ago. What was your motion?
I was making a motion to grant a temporary variance until we figure out where we're gonna go.
To work on a new ordinance.
I don't vote,
I
but I don't.
did that
We would
rough.
have
I
to,
said no.
we would have
All I got is
to,
this
That's
one
back
that
and forth,
I
back
wrote
and
up,
forth, and makes it
but I
hard.
copied off another town.
and this is just
And
a
part-
fraction of how it needs to be done. What you gotta understand,
Yeah.
to write an ordinance
Let me
for,
see that,
to keep it, let's just say a chicken, it's gonna have to be, I don't want a chicken in my next door neighbor's front yard. I don't want it doing anything that could detract from my property value. So if it's in the back, yours is in the back, it's not seen, that's why Rick's never seen it, he don't ever get out and call. You don't have to. You actually have a problem for it. Ron's seen them all the time.
He had to put it that way.
Ron don't care though.
He's got a head for chickens.
There's a lot goes into it. I'm willing to entertain what he said about until we would have to have executive sessions amongst ourselves to work on this ordinance.
Yeah, because that's just a rough draft.
And exactly, that's a
Start
rough
with.
And
draft.
it would have to
I'd
be
say,
determined.
I
Where's
like
that
the
from?
idea of a variance for right
I
now.
pulled it
I'm
off
not
the
saying
internet off
that
another
a variance
town.
until we get
In
it,
Indiana?
may come out to where we
Ohio.
can't get one that's
You got
satisfied.
one in Louisville, it's already done for you.
What if I go to my doctor and get them as some emotional support animals? Would you make me get rid of them then?
No, I'd help you find a house somewhere else.
So,
Slick. I like
you know,
it.
the other thing with this is, just, it costs, we have to pay our attorney. At the end of the day, he's the one who's gonna put this all together.
Yeah.
Right.
So, these guys put all the legwork into it, and then we go to the attorney, so it's a process. And the attorney will kinda say, you guys, are you really gonna do that? Because who's gonna police it, who's gonna do this, or you can do this, or this. So, it does take a while and it is drawn out. But
Okay.
I think you're gonna get all stumbled up if you do a temporary, I mean, don't make them, the ones who have them, don't make anything happen right now because you're in the midst of doing what you're doing.
That's exactly what he means by that.
can-
But I don't,
That's what I'm
but
talking
don't, you're
about.
not gonna let people bring them in during this variance time.
No,
No, just the ones that have them now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
they're kind of grandfathered in.
Yeah, but who do I know has chickens though? Do I need to do an audit?
Oh.
I
Yeah.
have no idea who has chickens. I have no idea who has chickens here.
Well, I don't mean that.
I'm just saying is that
Better
I
if you
think,
don't.
all we're doing is asking for trouble to ourselves if we don't have it cut and dry when you do it. When you guys do the variance, you do all this nicey nice stuff, y'all's gonna be the ones that get bit in the butt.
Exactly.
Or me, or
Well,
mom, or
and you
Rick.
said
or-
something about 5 or 6 chickens.
And I'm not
Yeah,
saying get rid of what you
I
got
actually wrote it in there.
right now.
You have 6 here, but you also state that they have to be in a secure enclosed, shielded from the street
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
enclosure.
No,
Well,
fenced in back there.
Fenced in,
backyard,
that's
yeah.
what that means.
just as long as you can't see it from the street,
Yeah.
that's
Because we
that's the
don't want
purpose
it
of it.
Do you clip their
affect
wings or
your
do they not
neighbors.
fly that high?
Is
They
the
don't
idea.
fly that high.
That's what they
And
had
we're getting
in
a
all the
privacy
towns I
fence
looked
put up
up.
anyway,
If they
because we have a
really
pool.
wanted
That
to, they
it
could get over the
can't be-
fence.
Ours out.
You
But
can't
why
be able
would
to
they
see it,
want
like
to?
you're
The
driving down the
food, the water,
road,
the
you should
shelters
not
in
be
the
able to see
backyard.
Some do.
it, is basically what I'm saying. And I
Well,
put
we
on
flipped their
there
wings
raised
before.
that it has to
bad
be
one.
a
They
distance
know
from
the
the
fence is
the
dwelling.
limit.
And he
I
said,
ended
it has
up
to be
with a
at least,
rooster
I
in
think
my
I put
backyard.
25
It just
feet
showed
away
up.
from any dwelling.
Yes.
So what I'm
And
saying is you
it-
can't put it right at
Just
your
showed
back
up. I
door.
don't have no idea where it
Because
came
that's considered the dwelling.
And
Now garage or
it
shed,
roosted in the
that's
tree at
different.
night
That
and
doesn't
started-
count, but,
You also printed in here, they shall not be allowed to sell the eggs for
I'll
profit.
just throw them
yeah,
out
because
there.
we're not
from.
wanting
Liz
chicken
Bain brought
farms.
me food.
It's for
It was
personal
suddenly
use.
Five, my
my
thing is
rooster.
with
Everybody
five,
complained
you're
to
not
me
gonna
about
have
that.
Yeah, 5 or 6, you're not gonna have people sell eggs because
But I
you're
don't
only
work
gonna get
different.
5
It
or
was-
6
Well, if you
eggs.
got 5 chickens and each one is complaining, you're gonna have 35 chickens, 35 eggs a week.
Yeah, but if you eat eggs, so do
But it suddenly became.
We go through a lot of eggs. My little daughter loves
We had
eggs.
to wait till they went to roost, and we had to
There's
climb up in a tree.
there's
and
one,
get
there's the one that's already
Because the
been
neighbors
done
were-
and chewed on and
very
litigated.
bad.
Yeah.
Because it crowed early in the morning.
And it gives you enforcement powers to go out and
It will.
It does what it's
inspect.
supposed to do.
You gotta have enforcement powers to do that.
I figure if there's no roosters, only so many, you gotta figure out how many chickens. And if there's a complaint,
Turn them on leeching.
then
I guess.
either someone from the town board, or you can have one of the officers
We've already.
go check it out, make sure that they're sanitary, make sure they got food, water, proper shelter.
Yeah.
Make sure they're not sickly looking. The only time they're really sickly looking is when they start molting though.
Oh, I was raising the
Did
country.
you give me the same one like 3 times?
No, that's all one, that's all.
This is the same,
Oh, and you didn't collate them?
I got the same page 3 times.
Yep, me too.
Oh, good, that's great, good. You guys can fight and find out.
Yeah, this one. Hey, we got different.
Yeah, I got the
ones,
same page 3 times.
There you go.
though. And I got 2. You got 3 pages or just 1?
Should be 3.
There you go.
I got 3 of
There you
the
go.
first page.
There's 3 pages.
Let's see. There's section 2.
There's 3 pages.
Okay, now I got the different
The
one.
last one's the signature
I
page, you
know
really
a girl
don't.
that lives up on
There's
the
just
road
section 1 and
outside
2.
Yeah,
the
I got
city.
section 1 3
They're
times.
the prettiest things.
The 3 and 4 is just the,
Yeah, they are. There's
just
3 of them.
the whereas and all that stuff.
Okay.
They come running.
Yeah, that's the last page right there.
You got 3.
They're about, the
Okay.
chickens on tree.
Which one do you not
There
have?
you go.
I only have 1 and 2.
She needs 3 and 4.
Here,
This is the first time in 4
just
years
3
we've
pages,
lived
there you
here.
go.
Which ones do you
It's
got?
because of
Here's-
one incident.
Here's
I
a
got 3 and
1.
9.
You got 9.
That's just
Oh,
a
that is
sample
9.
ordinance, isn't it?
How did we go? How did we get from 3 to 9?
Who knows, that's Louisville, I can't help you on that. That's probably supposed to be a 4 instead of
Yeah.
a 9.
That should be a B.
Right, B instead of an X. Here you go, Anita.
Typographical fat finger.
There you go, there's another section right there.
There, I'm editing mine so I don't get confused here,
Okay.
because that was.
What I'm saying is that,
Here's a section 1 if anybody needs
here
it.
you go, pass it
I had
back.
3 of them
Here
already.
it goes to this one right here, I can give it to another in the crowd. They can look at it.
So this is the one from Louisville, right?
Yeah, and it's written as an amendment to an existing ordinance that it's citing, which is similar to what you guys are wanting to do. You're wanting to amend your existing ordinance and add, so it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
It's just a carve out specifically for poultry.
Yeah, our ordinance, the present ordinance would have to go to the attorney
Yeah.
and be amended. And that takes a long time and a lot of money.
Well, our attorney's already written.
But ours, this has to be incorporated into ours. It has to, ours has to be
Right, but you
amended.
guys need to finalize your guys' thoughts, then you give it to the attorney, the
Yeah.
rubber stamp it, and then move on. I wouldn't get him involved at the beginning. He would be at the very end, that'd be too expensive.
Pointing out that there's a lot to it.
Say what, Brenda?
I know we don't do it till the end, I was only pointing out that there's a lot.
Exactly.
It's a long
That
process.
was the comment I came up. I brought up, exactly. You know, you just can't say, okay, we're gonna have chickens, we're gonna keep them in the back of the house. Well, there's a lot of other things involved too. But it's not that it's not doable, it's definitely doable. You just gotta decide who and how. And that's on us to do that.
Well, and also I read in one of the things that they had to have a license to have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little, basically like a $5 permit. It's-
And they get it from
It's
the town.
meaningless.
Right.
Its sole purpose is that if
That we know
they
you have
have a
chickens.
permit, it can be revoked and therefore,
That way you know
You can
where you
make it
need
get
to go
rid
to
of
check it, to see if the chickens are being properly cared for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or count them. Rick says he's not gonna count them.
Might eat them,
Oh,
can't
okay.
count them.
I think I'd
and
like to
just
see
click
it
your
count.
fingers at mine, I can run into you.
I got some chicken in the freezer.
Yep, call 'em
It's
box
not
box.
what
You
you
can't
want
smell them
pets.
from the road, you're doing good. That's all I'm saying.
You leave your pets.
Oh,
there.
oh, no.
Huh?
I
You
mean,
don't
When I
eat your
walk in there to
pets.
feed
Yeah, we
and
do.
water them, if I start to smell that chicken in there, boy, I'm cleaning them out.
My neighbor's got like 5 or 6 chickens where I live at. I didn't even know they had chickens till my dog came into the doggy door with one in his mouth. What the hell is that? And so, yeah, it's,
So
I
do you
don't
have to
think-
pay him
no.
for the chicken?
no, that chicken came in my yard. Comes in my yard, it's fair game. For my dogs.
That's what I'm saying, that the chickens have to be contained to their yard.
You know, but your main mechanism that you want to do is make sure that it's a clean and sanitary environment. That's the whole purpose of, I think that's Kathy's biggest objection is the sanitary part of it.
Yeah.
And if that can be overcame, you know.
What do you
did
do with
guys
the chicken
compromise?
poop? What do you do with the chicken
Fertilize our
poop?
garden.
I'm gonna say fertilize the garden.
Yeah, he told me about that. You better read up on that. It says it needs to be compost for upwards of 6 months and then held over because it's a danger to
Those are
your
the same
health.
people that tell me not to eat a medium rare hamburger, but.
Yeah, little house in the prairie, it was fine.
It's nitrogen for the corn.
Yep.
Good nitrogen for the corn.
Yeah, I know that. I've read up on it.
I mean, yeah.
Read what it
Five
says
chicken-
about
5 or
chicken
6
shit.
chickens
Just
ain't gonna
read
be
it.
enough to really.
It's scary.
Most of it
chicken
will dissolve in the
Sorry.
ground anyway.
There's that one of the
I've
anhydrous that they put on the corn for reals that they make food out of.
Fertilize their gardens.
That's-
And turkey poop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
excrement, yeah.
they do that on Taiwan for the
I slipped and
rice.
said S-H-I-T. I
So it's
apologize.
wrong, so it's excrement.
What'd you say?
I said S-H-I-T. I'm
She'll
on,
say it again.
I'm on camera too.
TV.
My bad.
And that's what it is.
Back to what Scott brought up, I think that's a positive way to start with no guarantees.
I don't think we need a variance, like Brenda said. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, I'm the one doing the enforcing, and I'm not really enforcing it,
You
so.
need a variance to allow them to keep their chickens.
No. We just need to leave it alone for a while until we decide what we're gonna do.
So, back to what I just thought I asked, so that means then it's okay for them to keep their chickens till we decide what we're gonna do? If you're not gonna do, you gotta do something, or they need to get rid of their chickens,
In my
simple
opinion, I
as
think
that.
that's fair, if we're going to really
180
look at it and
How's
really
that?
dig into it, to think what you all are gonna do, because I don't vote. I think it would be fair to, whatever you need to do, to let them don't make them get rid of their chickens just yet, but they know that they're gonna have to lessen the numbers if we go with it, because you just said you're gonna have less chickens than 9.
Right, right. So you're looking at the variances saying, the variance being a new rule. No, I don't think that's how you
No,
meant
the
it to be.
variance is just an exception for a limited time.
Exactly.
How about I just give them a 6-month warning right now? You know, you're not gonna do anything.
No, we need to write the ordinance for 6 months.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying,
That would
no.
give them 6 months, give you 6 months to write an ordinance.
I'm telling you, you got 6 months to get rid of your chickens, and then that gives you 6 months to take care of it.
What do you guys think about that?
I think 6 months is too long.
Oh, no,
Well, of course, but you'll
I'm
have it
just
done
using,
by then.
I'm just using that as an example. You say, hey, 3 months, that gives us 3 months to make something happen,
So-
or whatever.
You say
I have
it's
another question here for the chicken people. If we take too long to do this, so is there a certain time of year you need to get chickens to get them started to do what they do?
Spring and fall.
Spring and fall.
Okay, so if we didn't do it for 3 months, people could still get chickens in the fall if we approved it and move forward with their chickens?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as they have the proper shelter, because they gotta have heat in the winter.
Is that gonna be in that ordinance?
It is.
Well, yeah, that'd have to be cared for, I mean,
Okay.
protected.
Well, all right, no, I was just saying that, I didn't want anybody to,
I built
I didn't know if we were causing someone to miss the opportunity to do chickens.
I got
There's
you.
only a certain time of year.
I see what you're
That's
saying.
why I was asking.
That makes sense.
Save them
Do what?
from me.
But I understand what she's saying.
Yeah, it takes, how long does it take?
So what do you wanna do? You
Land.
don't wanna use the word
6 months
variance
delay.
because it scares people, or?
I don't-
That's what it is. It's a variance. It's an exception.
I just don't think we need to do that. We just move on, let them have their chickens. They gotta reduce it down to 5.
Well, 5 or 6,
So,
whatever
You
you guys
don't have
decide.
an ordinance to reduce it down to 5, yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But we have an ordinance that they can't have none. That's maybe
Yeah.
why you need a variance to
Variance.
explain it.
Yeah, I would do a variance.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't have a vote, but I do a variance, because they need to keep what they've got right now.
I know, you've been years not doing nothing. I don't see the rush to, you gotta get something done right now. You've been going on all
We
this time
didn't-
anyway.
We didn't have a problem until just recently. Don't
Well,
matter if they have had them for 10
I
years.
think you had the
we didn't
problem,
know
I think,
about it.
I just think it wasn't known, because I'm sure they had chickens for a while.
4 years.
4 years.
4
really?
years we lived here.
They owed us a lot of money.
Yeah, a ton. What do you think, Scott? What do you want to do? How you want to handle it?
Well, I, can we do the temporary variance or not?
Sure.
I don't know the answer to that.
Sure we can. But I mean, it would just have to be explained. Temporary variance is for the next 90 days, the McDaniels can keep what they have. No one can bring any more in because currently it's still against the ordinance.
So the variance is gonna be to him, not the whole town.
Exactly. I mean,
How about the others that have
Why
them?
can't you do it that way?
What?
If I wanna bring chicken in, you letting them keep their chicken.
Yeah.
See,
Their
this is what- this is-
grandfather-
No,
this is
their
how-
grandfather, they're not supposed to be a grandfather, they're not supposed to have chicken by the law.
That's what the variance allows.
So what you're
that's where
saying,
the
Donnie,
variance would
is
allow
that
it.
someone could come in and say, well, you're letting them have chickens, so I'm bringing my chickens in.
And-
Right,
and
that's called the
what-
14th Amendment.
They're not in these
Everyone's
grandfather
equally
clause because
protected.
they didn't have the chickens when
That's why
you
I don't
guys
do
shouldn't let them
anything.
have.
We just move forward with you guys doing your ordinance and
Leave it
let their
alone.
chickens do whatever the chickens are doing.
I
And,
think that's the best.
Yeah, it's probably the best we can do that.
Yep.
That's how
hey,
you
Brandon, you were right.
make a motion.
What?
Make sure that dozen eggs is under the mailbox, so.
Yeah, we need fresh eggs down here
All
for
right,
BD.
so
Okay.
I'll withdraw
We got some
that
in the
motion
fridge.
then, and then we'll just
At your meeting,
table, I guess, pretty much table it until,
You take it under
I got chicken.
advisement?
take it under advisement or something until we,
That's what we do, we get the chicken.
figure out what we're doing.
And we'll have scheduled
We can't even-
extra meetings to work on ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
35 minutes
We've done ordinances before.
until the
I just-
foxes and coons.
I mean,
I am.
We have.
The reason why I pointed out Ron, or not Ron, but Louisville's, because it's something that you can do quick. It took us 7 years for the dog ordinance. 7 years I was here, I know I was here for
It
it.
wasn't 7 years, like 2 years. wasn't it?
No, it was 7
Still
years.
lacks property.
And it's still kind of, but what I'm saying is that I
And
think,
that ordinance is still,
Yeah.
and nobody pays attention to it. Ain't nobody knows what our ordinances say.
not
'Cause
until
they don't call up here and say, hey, I'm new to town, I just moved in, can I have 3 horses and a sheep?
Nope.
If they want them, they just bring them in and wait for us to tell them they gotta get rid of it. You know, what would be nice, and I've always said this, but I don't think that it's worth the expense, is if you had a welcome packet to town, somebody moving to town, you hand them a packet that tells them what they're allowed to have, tells them what they're allowed to do, because they're not gonna know if you don't, and they're gonna do what they want to do until you tell them they can't.
Or print up those books and sell them.
If you put a
But this
book up
office
there and
doesn't
the
know.
post
Post
office,
office.
So I steal it?
get it to where you can chain it to hook it to something.
What about
Like
when
the old
they sign
phone
up for their
books?
Put it on
store
the
now?
website.
Yeah, just like
Huh?
old
What
phone.
about when
Yeah,
they,
Greensfork's got a,
I never know when a
roll
really
up in
comes in and
Greensfork,
out
you
of
could
a
put stuff
row.
like that on the website. or-
can you imagine putting that book on the
It's
website?
easy, I have them on my laptop, I was reading them along with them. They're saved in Word documents, it's easy peasy to change those to a
So could
PDF.
an individual pull that up?
if you put it
It's on my computer, it's not on the website, but I scanned them with my phone so that if I'm out patrolling and someone says, hey, what about this ordinance?
I see.
Then I can look on my phone or my laptop and pull the ordinance up and
Yeah.
go, oh, well, it says this or this.
those are already in the Word document form.
Yeah.
We got that when
Yeah.
we had that codified.
Yeah.
Right,
We paid the extra money to get those, so.
right. In 2013.
All right, so currently sounds to me like what we're gonna do is just leave things the way they are. And for us to get to work and decide what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it.
You know,
What'd
I
you
wouldn't
say,
do
Ron?
executive sessions, I would do work sessions.
Work
Exactly.
sessions,
That way you
Yeah,
executive
work
sessions
session.
to work on it. I mean,
That way they can come as well, they can
Yeah, it wouldn't be executive, I said
No.
executive, but it'd be a work
Schedule
session.
work session.
work session, and like I said, it just takes time, man. It takes people's effort to come down here and put their 2 cents in. Because there was nobody here for the dog ordinance, no one here.
No.
And it just, they done a little bit, and then they would go on to other business. But if you guys, if they said it real quick, you can make this happen relatively in a short amount of time. And then it's,
Maybe.
I
Okay,
think so.
we need 48 hours notice. excluding
For work
weekends.
sessions.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
advertise it, so you guys will know when it is.
Good, be published.
and maybe what is convenient for the people that care the most about the issue too. That might be good.
You guys good with that?
These are just the, what, 1, 2, 3, 4th people that have come forth about chickens. That's only the 4th person.
You want to schedule a meeting tonight? and have-
I mean, right, you got,
Still no one's
yeah.
I'm
No,
talking
yeah.
family ones.
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you say, Rick?
I think that, you know, if you guys share amongst yourself what you like and don't like about the Louisville one, and then move forward with it and let her go.
I like what,
We've looked at that one, we've looked at Hagerstown, and I think we've looked at.
Hagerstown love chickens?
Richmond, too.
I like
Yep.
what Chris or Scott wrote better than what I'm reading. Louis, yours is too vague. This, yeah, this one really nips it in the bud.
Well, I'll show you
It's
how
still
we'll do
just
that
a
at our
rough draft.
first work session.
Oh, yeah.
This one brings it down to the nitty gritty of what you can and cannot have.
I've got it, mine's at work. All right then, I think we're beating a dead horse now, so,
Oh, one after horses now.
Donnie, did you
animals.
have something you wanted to share?
Yeah, he did.
I just want Carey Street up there goes to the back of the ball diamond. How wide that street's supposed to be?
I don't know. That
They
would
used to
be-
have a map down here, how wide Main Street is, and Carey Street, South Green, and all this stuff.
there's a bunch of,
I wasn't able to answer his question on that.
there's a
I
bunch
don't-
of
I don't
maps
have an
rolled
answer
up
to
there,
that
Rick.
either.
Yeah, 'cause it'd be on the sewer maps.
Well, that's what I was looking at, town of Greensfork sewer inspections.
That's just where the cleanouts are and stuff.
Look on top of the fridge.
I don't think that, I'm talking about the dead end street, because you ain't got no sewage there.
You know about Carriage where it stops at the green?
Ball diamond, yeah, stops it, but you gotta go back to the ball diamond, it goes to the ball diamond. They used to have a cable up there years back, keep traffic going. I got traffic going through there, and I'm talking about fast at nighttime, 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning,
Yeah, that was
4:30 in the morning.
brought up years ago, and they didn't want that blocked because of the fire department in case they had an emergency on 38, that they had another access to get out.
But, what I want to know now, they're wanting to widen that corner up, is what I heard. And
Who's wanting to widen up?
the fire department, because they can't already get the trucks down through there. Well, it's been that way for years and years, and even when the fire department moved up there, they took the cable, they put the cable up. When the fire department moved from down here to up there, they still had the cable up. We kept it up there because we had Little League and all this going on up and that stuff. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, their chief or whatever it was, they opened it back up.
We asked them to open it back up. It was years and years and years ago.
It wasn't, no, the town board never did ask them to open it up.
The
Now-
town board told them to open it up.
No, I was,
You remember, Bud?
now wait a minute, I'm talking, this happened before you guys even got on the town board.
I'm not
I'm
saying,
talking 20-some years ago.
I'm talking that you guys wasn't even on the town
Yeah, I've
board.
only been on this town board 20-some years.
I don't care, I'm talking about,
No, yeah, I know, I don't remember, that's what I'm saying.
well, you guys wasn't even on it because it was Stackhouse, Jerry Beers, and that bunch.
Well, they can't widen the street unless they come to the town.
They were the town.
But I mean, they can't widen that street unless
That's the
it's
reason
a,
I wanna know how wide the street is, supposed to be.
I don't know.
Well, then how you gonna stop them if they want to widen it?
They have to come to us to widen
Well,
it.
it don't matter. I mean, if they want, you guys, why don't you just put the cable back up there so they don't come out, nobody goes in and comes out of there? That's what I'm saying.
Abandon it and make it driveways.
Huh?
You can abandon it and make it driveway. Each property owner gets.
So he's talking about this right here, right?
In between my mother's
Yeah.
old house
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
and Randy Jeffries,
Yeah, that's it right there.
it's the same width.
off of North
It's
Green.
gonna be the same width all the way down Carey Street.
Where
so
does, and where does,
No, it's not gonna be the same way because it never was an opening down through there. They had it blocked off. It was blocked off
where
from there
does
down.
township property start there, Donnie?
It starts right there at the fence, the ball diamond fence.
And then the rest back this way is the town.
Yeah, back this way to town. Now, Randy's, area is the new building back there in the back. That's supposed to be in the township.
That big building, yeah.
Yes.
That's way back.
It sets 3 foot on the township property.
It's like elevation or something.
So that's where the township line starts, basically where that building is at.
Well, what the?
The new building, the big building.
Well, it goes
Not right.
on the east side. They're about 2 or 3 foot. He's on the township's property.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
But see, right there where that fence is at now, that was all blocked off at one time when I was in school, running track, playing baseball there for all them years.
Long, long time
Yes.
ago.
You're gonna have to have a survey done. You're not gonna be able to go off that. You're gonna have a survey done and see.
Now wait just a second. Now Rick, no, hang on a minute now. You got a map here. We used to have, I was on the board.
He's looking at the map now.
Huh?
He's looking at the map.
Okay, but the Cary Street from North Green Street goes back east is wider than what the Cary Street is, if you call that Cary Street. I don't know if you call that Cary Street or not, do you?
You're talking about to the west,
Yeah, to the east.
to the east?
Once it crosses Green,
Yes.
Yeah, that's carriage, isn't it?
I don't know.
That ain't the same distance. That road there is not the same distance as it is west of Green Street.
You mean the same width?
West, yeah.
You can see it right here, it changes width right here.
Keep digging there, Ricky.
I don't know, it ain't gonna show up on sewage plant because you guys ain't on sewage line that to you from there down.
So I was getting ready to ask.
There's about 40 maps over there, they're looking at them.
We used to have just one map hanging on the wall when I was up here. And it showed what the distance was.
Because I had that one down about.
No, it showed the distance of the main street wide. I think it was 18 or 24 foot or something like
I
that.
know that
Alleys were 12 foot.
Carriage Street has kind of been widened now. Because when they built,
Yeah.
they poured asphalt down there for parking, and that kind of widened the street,
And
really.
you might even count that as Cary Street goes back
So that's not
east.
an
I
alley
don't know.
instead
No,
of a
it's-
street?
I can recall us discussing this before. It's not an alley, it's a street.
Because it's, when you look at Google Maps, it's the size of the alleys, and the other street is
Right,
wider.
right. That's what I'm saying. But see,
That's almost always been more like a driveway
One
for people
time.
who live there.
Green Street went all the way to
30
Brandy's
feet.
house
Huh?
and Earl Stackhouse.
You got it?
Well, Gary Deering got that property.
Date on that.
And he was gonna put a housing addition back there in that field. Earl Stackhouse, excuse me, I know he's dead and all this stuff, but Earl Stackhouse went to Ray Jeffers and said, hey, won't you put in a request to do away with that little section right here and turn it back to the owners?
Vacated.
Vacated, and he did, he publicized it, and I said, Earl, you didn't publicize it around here? He said, well, I don't have to. I just put it in paper, and he put the paper out in another place.
He kind of did things that way.
And
Yes, he
the
did.
property went back to Ray Jeffers and them. That's what I'm asking on this right here. Why don't we put the cable back up so people won't go in and out of there all the damn time?
Are you gonna be restricting the fire department?
Yes.
It's been restricted that way for years and years and years.
You mean 60 years ago?
I'm talking about, the cable was still up there when the fire department moved, Tom and Boyd too, moved from down here at Danny Paul's garage, I call it, shed there.
How
When
many
they-
years ago was that, Don?
Oh, that what building?
Well, before Danny Paul moved up there, Gary Deering had the station. That's when Gary Deering had the station.
That's back in the 70s, wasn't it?
Back in the 60s, because Dean worked there.
And the fire department was
East
right
Carriage
up,
Street
was right
is
up here.
33 feet wide.
East
Well, the
Carriage
fire department
Street's
didn't go up there till the
33 feet
80s.
wide.
East Cary Street's 33.
That's what he's saying. He's
That's what
looking
it
at
shows
the
on
map.
this map.
Now look at that map.
Sure.
I can't read 30.
33 feet's pretty big.
East,
That's
well,
what
wait,
it says.
East Cary Street.
And Green Street
from
is-
Main Street to Green Street.
That would be east.
66
Okay, I'm talking about
feet wide.
one.
I don't even know that is Carriage Street past
I never-
Green Street.
I didn't think it ever was, but
I always thought it was an alley.
That's what I'm saying, it looks more like an
No.
alley.
it was an alley when Tom and Boyd did
If it
that.
was an
The
alley,
map
we would have
shows it's a
vacated it
street
by now.
all the way up to the
Yeah,
fence.
it says it's
Unless
a street
got-
all the way
unless
up
it's
to
got
the
sewer lines
fence.
in it.
This was discussed years and years
Well,
ago.
the fire department didn't move
No,
up
I
there
was
until the
here.
80s, did it, Kathy?
I'm sorry?
The fire department didn't
So,
move up there till the
33
80s.
feet, 33 feet,
I don't remember when they
Green
moved
Street's
that.
Because I remember
66 feet.
that,
66 feet.
Scott Eder worked
And it
in
stops
high
right
school,
there
just
at
out of
that-
high school, worked up there for Deering,
At the,
or
Yeah.
not.
baseball field.
And that was in the
But it
very
goes
early
all the way
80s.
to
So
the end
fire
there.
department has been, they went in there after that. Oh, no, there was a company in there.
Well, it ain't
What's
on
that
33
company,
feet.
on Golden Engineering? So the fire department went in sometime, I
That
didn't
garage
know.
out, and this shit,
Going in engineering.
And how wide does it say?
and that
33
garage,
feet.
And it calls it a street.
that
Yeah,
garage.
it's East Carriage Street, all the way up to the fence, where the, well, it shows lot numbers, but
Goes up to the fence where the,
Well,
The
30
tall fence there back of
33
Donnie's house where Mom lived.
33 feet. How did they build them two new houses up there on Terry
so
Street?
33, it's
How did
all the
you- how did
way
you- How the building commissioner
to
then
that,
build them two houses that close
all the
to
way
that
to that
street's not
fence.
33 feet. You got the right of way, but I think it's 33 feet.
just the ball diamond here.
Ball down and be over
So
here.
where's his house?
Because there's the
His is
schoolhouse is the firehouse.
If you go to
So
the
that's
end
behind
of
the
North
firehouse.
Green,
This off right here would be
So
wide
it-
enough
the
for.
last
kinda
house
goes
on
this
our
way.
right,
This wouldn't be 33.
and then the
feet.
street,
Wow.
Carriage Street, and then Brandy
You
Jeffries.
can't pass on that street.
And that house
I
used to
know,
be
that's
my
true,
mother's.
that's true.
Okay. So what we got going on is like loitering or something going on back here?
No, he says they're driving
Kids all out.
too fast
no,
through
not
there.
kids.
Well, there's another alternative. You can put a speed bump or a speed hump there.
Don't get me on the speed bump, I'm about to explain that.
Well, they slow
Take that
people
thing
down.
like a
We put
ton,
one
and I
in
didn't even know it was
the
there.
alley over there and it slowed people down. I mean,
Dukes of Hazzard.
We got two on South Main, you've seen those, right?
You feel those.
What's gonna happen
What's
when I
more
turn
than
the
a
car
speed
up?
bump?
I'm about to throw my car up.
Well, they slow you down next
Now,
time.
wait a minute, I was only running 15 mile an hour up that street, cause I
You better
come,
get your shocks fixed.
no, my
Well, the
spice
We
guard.
have speed bump or speed hump.
The first night, they didn't leave out
It's a
any
hump.
cones or anything.
No.
Shorter.
There was no markings.
And I hit it.
alley
Pretty
has
dangerous.
bumps.
And my
Well,
spice
it
guard.
has three bumps.
Here's the thing, we have had people complaining about people using that as a racetrack, bitching and complaining and moaning, and now we've done something about it. I don't wanna hear any more bitching and moaning
The
about
only
it.
thing I gotta say is,
Slow
Did you
down.
think though, how are we
do you want me to
gonna,
do? my spice
plow.
guard hit.
I'm
Yes.
just letting you know.
Yes. It
They
hit.
have to be aware of it, otherwise they're gonna tear their plow up.
Well,
The
I
town's
can-
plow up.
Well, and
What about
supposedly
the
the hump
county?
versus the bump,
The
hump
county
has got
doesn't do
more of a
it.
slope to it that won't tear up
Yeah.
your, that it won't
They'll
tear
come
up your
right to
pump.
the edge of
over it
Mineral
and-
Springs.
Before we go over.
But I hit it 15 mile an hour and I'm bottom out now, and that was in my SUV now.
Well, I'm not gonna drive mine.
Cause I got past it, I stopped,
We
and I
watched
got out and
a
looked.
fairly new F-350 blast over it.
Lost his
And lost
exhaust
his
over it.
When
exhaust.
you say blast over, how fast do you reckon he was going?
He was going
not
faster
going.
than 25, I guarantee that.
Well, I
And
bet he
Scott,
learned
you say
something
that
from
they
that.
are
He
bumps
too.
instead of humps. Speed
They're,
bumps.
they're humps as
They're
far
humps.
as the width goes, but
And
they
the
are kinda
contour.
high.
They
Are
are.
high.
6 inches tall. But if
They're
you
not
guys
smooth
ever,
and pretty either.
ever get the money repaved,
Can we change it to
You
motocross street
can-
instead of main?
you actually pave in between hump to hump without losing it. I mean, the hump, speed humps will get a little shorter, but it'll work
They're
out
a
good.
little bit higher than I was expecting.
That whole street's gonna have to be dug up when they.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dig the whole street up.
They're gonna
next
grade
year
it
anyway.
completely
Get it
down.
done.
Speed bump or speed humps, whatever, you had signs up. There wasn't no signs up when I went by there at that night.
There was no orange
And I, you know
cones
what I
to
thought
go
they did? I
with
thought they paved that right there is what I thought they did.
That's what I
That's
thought when I first
what,
looked
that's
at
what
it.
I was told, that they were out paving, patching the street. And I come home and I ain't gonna lie, I hit the first one and I went airborne. They were sitting there watching me.
How fast was you going?
20.
85.
You go airport
I go 20 mile an
Hey,
hour all the way down
I
through here
guarantee you
because
go
of all
20 mile an
these
hour on that son
kids.
of a gun and you see what happens.
Have your neighbors get rid of their kids and we can pull them all
Well,
over.
That's it. That's what I get. I say, you know what you're using now? I come down and ask Kurt Bain this. Kurt Bain said, well, I see you got speed bumps here, but just made trouble for something else. I said, what do you mean? He said, look at them 4 kids riding the bicycles up and over.
Yeah.
All afternoon they've been riding the
They'll park
bicycles
on
over.
them.
Yeah, you probably did the same thing 75
I
years
might
ago
have,
when you
but-
was here in town.
But what would my mom and dad do to me?
Well, yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
that's the thing.
We ain't got mom and dads like that no more.
And the kids do it now, and people's got to stop for the kids whether you can get to the speed bump now.
Because the kids have the right of way, they'll tell you that.
I went down Main Street more than once when kids were out there in the
Legally
middle of it
speaking,
playing
they are
basketball and they
technically
just moved their thing. But you're gonna have that in a small town where you got kids. That just happens to be the most concentrated section with kids in the whole town.
South of the railroad track around to where Angela lives.
Well, if Frank Kelly would have been
25
addressed,
children the last
he
I
was the one
counted.
that was the main
25 small
offender
ones.
going down through there.
My neighbors between the two of them have 9.
Frank.
That's awesome.
But 70-some years we've had kids in this
9
town
children. One
playing.
has 5.
We never had no
one has 4.
speed bump. And for that many years, if we had a complaint, we had cops sitting down there with radar at people's houses and all this stuff, and we nail them dead to right, and they were the ones that's doing it.
I never remember you having more than one cop at a time anyway.
I was gonna say, no, we had 2. We had 2.
We had a marshal and a deputy at one time.
Yeah. Bill Reese and me,
Oh, that was way before my time, Bill Reese.
and then I had.
Mose Bain, I'm sure you're gonna bring his name, he was one too at one time, wasn't he?
Fred Johnson.
Oh, I remember Fred.
I was Ken was his deputy when he had it. That's
Oh,
been,
Kenworthy, yes.
that's been,
I was a teenager, so that's a long time.
That's 100 years ago.
And close to it.
Building art.
Greensfork had dirt roads.
Yeah.
That's when we were the third world country, remember?
I'm not as old as you all.
That's when we had outhouses, we had no bathrooms.
I like it. All right, what are we doing?
Moving on, we already got it settled.
Yeah, I guess we're moving.
Don, did you get your answer?
I guess I got it set up, it's 33 foot, but they built them 2 new apartments down there, and if that road's supposed to be 33 foot, they got their front doors, not front door, front, that petition out there in front, it's sitting on the 33 foot measurement, it was supposed to be 33. Carriage
About the
Street.
new apartment.
West of Carriage?
Carriage
West
and
of
Main.
Green.
Doug Thorpe built them too.
Come on in there, that's who we're waiting on. Get him, grab him!
Get in here. Right there.
Are the speed humps a little high?
I don't know.
That's what, that was one of the questions brought up. And,
Said that they're
I was gonna
bottoming
ram
out.
all out, you came too soon.
Bottomed them out, airborne, and lost a muffler.
They are rough.
Oh, the guy that lost his muffler, he was
He was
definitely
speeding, though.
speeding.
Yeah, if you lose something, you're
Yeah.
flying. I'm sorry, that's,
Well, Donnie said he bottomed it out
I
at
bought
20.
them out that night, about
Spoiler.
9:30 with my flash guard, and I wasn't running 17 mile an hour, 15, 17.
my Beamer drags just a little bit going over it, so.
Will it wear
Over the
down?
one, they may be a little, that
Will it
one may
knock
be a
down?
little high.
I guess that one of the questions is gonna be if someone
Oh, that's the
is.
one further down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one I don't drag.
Was there gonna be?
Yeah, I think
Speed bump signs for
that first one closest to the curb, I think is a little bit.
I think
probably.
it should be.
Now, the one I hit was.
Right.
Did you hear Becky?
Yeah, we had talked
Is that-
about
is that
that
the one
in
you're talking
meetings,
about?
past meetings.
No,
about
yours.
speed
Your
humps.
house.
Oh, the one,
I thought we had to have it.
Because he
before
only
they
had
had
half
it,
of
but we
it.
talked about getting.
I know one of them's high, but I didn't really pay attention to which one.
Yeah, the one furthest down is the one I drug across in BMW, so.
It's pretty tall. We measured it last night with the golf club.
Question is, are they gonna put up speed hump signs
Yes,
they ordered?
yes, they are not ordered as of yet. I've been pricing them.
Okay.
And what are you classifying them as? Speed humps or speed bumps?
They are humps, they're not bumps.
Yeah, they're.
So bumps are higher,
because
correct?
They're width.
No, bumps
No,
are
it's
sudden.
the gentle.
Okay.
More of a,
Bumps are gentle.
The speed bumps are like this, whereas the humps are like this.
These are
Gradual.
bumps, HEMPS,
Like some sort of driveway that goes through there.
and you are
We
gonna
lowered
order
speed limit
On the
signs.
Wayne County's.
So they get a price
I
tag.
don't think we could. It shows carries.
What's that?
Right there, and that's a
uh,
driveway that goes all the way to 38.
I have to double check, but something like, you can lower it like 5 miles an hour without a study.
Stop right there.
Oh, the speed
I thought
limit.
we were allowed to set it ourselves here in town,
People that,
No.
I don't know about.
There's
There's
stipulations.
still guidelines.
within 5 miles, like you said, 5, yeah.
If you wanna like go full bore, like make it 10 miles an hour, you.
Oh, I don't know how they figured
I
that
don't
out.
think it needs to be that.
Well, my thing is, you can put
Believe you have
anything you want on there, they're gonna
yeah,
shine
I
as fast
think
as they're
20,
gonna drive.
25 to 20.
I think he's right when he
Night
puts signs
time
up.
and everything.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah.
What, speed signs?
Yes.
Right here,
And then I thought,
Right here.
we're painting them too, aren't
you
we?
say it stops right here.
Yeah, there's already
On the same.
yellow
One
on
of them
some of
started.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Driveway.
Okay.
It's fun sitting on the front porch.
We've got
watching
speed
them
limit
go
signs
across
that's
the street,
25 mile an
not
hour
realize
now.
there's a second one.
I watched a little smart car hit one of those. He hit half,
Right there, the corner.
Well,
he
it
hit
was
half
tomato.
of it.
Like me too.
Come around the curve and just nailed it. Hit that thing for a
That's
ton.
alley, but that's an alley's coming out here.
That's all on you.
They'll figure it out sooner or later.
But I
What you see too, you guys live down there,
And my
the cars
little
you
car
see,
barely
the cars
goes
that come there daily.
Have you noticed
They
the
live
little
out
black
south
car
of town
that
or
goes north?
southwest of
And
town.
it's going
They'll
40
learn.
or 50 miles an
And we're
hour.
doing
SC
this
Cruiser,
to
the Mini
protect your
Cooper.
I'm
children.
sorry?
I see a lot
So, you got a problem with that?
It looks like a Mini Cooper. I don't know if that's what it is, but it is flying.
When, before they got it all the way across the road, it was flying around them.
Yeah.
It was absolutely flying. I sit at the kitchen table and have my coffee and play games, and I keep seeing this little black car. But I wouldn't think they'd be doing it now.
They won't
Have
do
you
it too
seen the
often.
Cadillac?
I'm sorry?
The Cadillac that's been dragging through there?
No, I haven't seen that.
That guy was flying.
He'll learn.
He was going fast.
That was the night that you stayed outside and watched it, and it went across the railroads with the train going and the flashing
Yeah, and
lights.
then they hammered down once they got on North Stop
I'm in
too.
the fire station now, we got a track.
Well,
Yeah,
they speed
we
in
got
front of
no
the
more.
post office.
This is the thing.
You gotta be careful.
Complained about the speed limit. We've had an issue with it, we know. So
Yeah,
we're
they
doing
do.
something to control that.
Oh, I think they're all doing it.
We're fine.
Yeah.
We're
I just wanna know about the signs to save the town ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are being, they are gonna be, they are being ordered, so. It's a matter of just, I mean, they are expensive. Right now, the company we normally use, we're looking at $1,200. And they want $500 in shipping. And I'm like, you guys can just forget it, we ain't doing no
We gotta
business.
go to Amazon.
Well, we gotta have special because we're town, we gotta have special breakaway bays.
They gotta have a certain still.
They probably gotta be DOT approved.
They do, and they gotta have breakaway base. And that way we don't put one through somebody's windshield because it didn't break away.
Everything is.
So what's the deal about
Sleeve
the,
down.
We probably should have had that before.
they were telling me that one of the railroad signs got
They were
stolen?
concerned
Yeah,
about.
somebody decided,
And I get
somebody's
that,
garage
but-
somewhere.
They
Yeah.
started about it.
Yeah, they fixed the one over by mine. Like,
We gotta order another railroad
They're gonna
sign.
be here till
So
midnight.
alley, see there.
All
I am
right.
shopping to see where we can get this shipping on.
See there on the map now.
They put the bolts and nuts on, use that red Loctite.
That right there is on that.
I'm using rivets.
That right there describes what you're talking about.
Oh, they're really pulling off.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna leave things the way they are for right now.
Can't get them all.
Don't get any more.
Planning on it.
I don't know if we left or not, but about 9:30.
And we will schedule a meeting, and when we schedule a meeting, we'll make it known to the public.
We'll post it at the post office.
Yeah,
It'll be posted at the post office, plus I'll, tell Becky, tell Laura. She'll help, well, Scott lives right down in Muncie Hall.
Tell Becky, tell the world, he just said.
Yeah, right on, Beck. Hey,
she made sure the camera
it's a 360 camera there, Missy.
You didn't get caught on camera doing that.
So that's what we're gonna do, within the next couple of weeks, or month maybe, we'll have a meeting scheduled. And you will be notified, and I'll sit down. We won't have a
Speed limit down.
TV here, we won't allow them in, we'll lock the door, we'll go around the garage, let them sit in here, and just take pictures of them.
Yeah, he just looked it up, we are legally allowed to lower it to 20 without any.
So no, 20 you need you have to have a study, but 25.
No, I've got people.
Oh, okay.
It's 30
20 is the
now.
lowest you can.
No, it's 25.
25.
here's them.
Yeah, it's 25.
I think it's 25.
People do 40, you have to have a
Oh, I
study.
know.
then we can't do
Oh, no, we can't afford to do that
Well, if I
study.
can get DOT to.
In effect.
My thing is, I don't care if you put 15 there, they're gonna drive the way they're gonna drive, they're
That's
doing it
right.
already, they're running 50 and a 30, what makes you think they're not gonna run
Cadillac
40
was
and a
faster
speed?
than
One
that.
mile an hour, you guy lives.
Huh?
You know, if you have.
He
those
made the sheriff's cars
speed
look slow,
bumps
they
that
come
come
through.
through.
Call.
Yeah.
Well, because they are, they take their time.
Tear the
That's, yeah, that's not our
I
problem
mean,
if
I've
they
had
tear
it
their
fly
car
through
up.
there before, but Not as fast as that Cadillac.
And the question was brought up, are we under any liability until we get a sign up that if somebody bothers the
That's why there's
car?
cones and stripes on them.
No, let me go.
So that covers our butts.
No, I can tell you.
Should.
I don't
And
know.
that's where we have a lawyer.
Mhm.
That's the bottom line.
Have you got signs ordered yet?
He's ordering.
Do I look like a signed order or something?
Well,
Sit down, please, thank
As long
you.
as you're taking steps to do something, then you're doing something. If
We
you,
are
if you know
applying.
that you need signs and you don't order signs, then you
Well,
can't.
Rick, we just talked about ordering the signs, and the man said he's gonna order the signs, so thank you for asking, though, I appreciate that.
He
You'd
just
have paid
didn't like
attention,
the
you'd
price he
know.
got on the first one, cause they want.
I'm trying to solve your other fires over here, so
I
I can't do anything.
Careful.
Yeah, I gotta look
Camera.
up something else now, but it does show, when you go to, on the GIS, it shows that carriage stops right there at Green. And the driveway is like a driveway or an alley that goes from that point all the way around to 38. But I don't know what that means though.
It does look like an alley.
Well, it's a driveway or an alley, but it's very narrow compared to how carriage is.
But if you look at the rest of what we call alleys here in town, they look kind of the same.
Right, it looks kind of similar to
Crashed
that.
over and all
But
that kind of stuff.
is that the town's alley? Is that what there's,
It's
That probably would be.
so I mean, I guess.
So if that's the case, if it is an alley, then we could vacate that alley, give half to the owner south of that, half owner, and half to the owner north of that, correct?
But then the fire department
would
want
have
it.
to work out a way to
That'd
get
be
it.
on the
Where's
fire
it at?
The
department.
fire department don't have a skin in it if that's
We
some
got
other
fire department
property.
here now.
Yeah,
They're
you got the-
concerned about the lane that goes
Hey, what's the?
east of Carriage, or east, Carriage east.
You can't,
From
into
Green.
the,
From
Is it the
Green.
Ball Diamond?
Well,
We call the
no, it was like
back
till
end.
10, 11 o'clock at night. There's
That's right, the back entrance to the Ball Diamond, North Green and
and.
east.
there's been a lot of issues with people driving like maniacs over through there all hours of the night. At one time, there used to be a cable across. Question was,
Right,
could
but
the
there's a
cable be
state law
put
that
back
regulates
up?
firework hours.
And I said that would be a very good idea because it
July
would block
4th and New Year's.
the fire department in case you had an emergency and needed to go
But then
out
when that was
there.
brought up, it was also said that it's been that way for years. The fire department never had an issue in the past.
We use it for entrance and exits and, you know, for folk going trucks in and out.
It would cause you a problem if it was closed off.
Inconvenience. I don't know about a problem, but inconvenience.
And late getting to a fire.
I don't know about late getting to a fire, it's inconvenience.
So what's the answer?
I don't care. We
Do
clo-
you-
we could, if it say peace, close that sucker. Let's board it up, close it off, make
Donnie
peace.
said something about you wanting to widen it? Had the fire department stated that?
Never did Donnie that,
That's what somebody told me.
Yeah,
Said,
I
you guys
never-
think about building a new fire station?
We
and-
are
and-
thinking about building a new fire station.
widen that
at some
opening up
point.
right there.
At that point, it would be our exit from the fire station because the fire station would be in that back lot. But those are still all in discussion. Nothing's in planning yet.
You'd probably have some upset neighbors, honestly, if that suddenly was your exit for the fire department. Randy's not ever a happy camper about anything, and
Bless her heart.
if Donnie, that would be putting a lot on right there by Donnie's house now.
Yeah, right now, nothing is in planning stages.
Nothing's finalized.
So, do we have the authority to have that cable put back up or not?
Then you'd have to go through the township on that because that belongs to the township.
No.
The Ball Diamond does belong to the township.
Now, wait a minute, I ain't talking, I'm talking about that
He's
opening
talking
right
about
there.
the road
Not
between
the,
Brandy and his.
not the Ball Diamond. Ball Diamond's township, I know that. I read that language when I was in Little League and all this stuff. I know what the language says on that property and all this stuff. But I'm talking about the opening right there. That does not belong to the township.
You're talking about off of Green.
North Green, Doug, you know where Brandy Jeffries lives. And you know where Donnie lives. North Green.
That opening right
That
there.
opening that
Does that
goes,
show as an alley, is what she just said, that shows an alley.
shows it as a street on the map.
Shows as a street, so
As
it's
a
town street.
Shows it as a street on the map he just pulled.
The map I pulled showed it to be an alley or a driveway.
And
That's,
That's what he just showed me.
that came off the GIS website.
Right there, Carey Street, stops right there.
That
Stops
green?
right there. That's Green Street right here.
I don't know if it's an alley or what it is.
Carey Street stops right there. And that shows like a driveway that direction.
It doesn't state what it is.
Well, you look at the width of it compared to it. This width is an alley right here. Going up and down from there. This is Green Street, Main Street, how wide it is here.
Where's this?
That's the alley goes behind the barber shop.
Oh,
38
okay,
up there.
okay. Well, that just definitely needs to be studied, because we were told years ago that it was a street.
I'm not saying it's not a street. I think it was a street, but the cable was split up here to keep the traffic from going back through that direction. That's what the cable was up here for a long, long time.
I want you to point that down in here so I understand too.
It's Carey Street
Right.
right here. Right, that shows, see how wide Carey Street is?
Yeah, and then it narrows out like an alley.
We'd have to
Yeah,
do
that's an
a,
alley.
Vacate.
Not an alley, it's a
well,
driveway.
even if, we might be able
This
to
is the
close it
driveway.
off.
Goes
so
through
only
the
fire department
schoolhouse.
could use it, but we,
From
remember
right
when we
here,
closed it off
right,
out here?
right here, Green
We do
Street.
So was it
A
an
very-
alley originally maybe
Something
to the
to do something to let
schoolhouse?
them
No, no, it never was open.
That's why I'm asking,
Okay.
do we even
When I
have
went
the
to school
authority
here,
to
it never
do
was,
that?
it stopped right here.
It's our street.
Okay.
It's ours.
It stopped right there.
Make a
But they had
resolution
back
or
here,
ordinance.
it'd be used, but they put cables and stuff up so people would go
We
back
probably
in.
could close
Even when
it
they had the little
That goes all the way.
and let
when
the
the fire
people,
department
the
was
fire
in there.
department use it when they need it.
Right.
They
To the
didn't
very
need
end
it,
down
they
there.
said leave the
But
cable
that
up, and then all
map
of a
showed the
sudden,
ends right here
I
where
don't
the
know
E
who it
is.
was, Tom Boyd too, who it was,
Yeah.
started, they went to the town board, said let's take the cable down.
And the fire
What's that
department.
map where they put up that doesn't show anything over there, does it?
Right, I remember where the
Electronic gate.
cable was between the
They
tree
could
and
pull
the,
up, hit a button and it would open.
yeah.
And
We've used it for an exit and an
Oh,
entrance.
through
That'd be
that.
cool.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then it's be closed all the
You
time.
guys gonna widen
Yeah.
this up here, that's what I
Did you
wanted
get
to
that,
know,
Brad?
because
Well,
you can't widen it
electronic
up because
gate.
you're
Four
gonna,
people
you're getting over on the other people's property.
farted in
Brandon.
there.
The only thing that was in our way was that.
Yeah, even that
Oh,
map there shows it.
Electronic
Shows it
gate
stopping
at their
Green
property.
You know what I'm talking about?
And
And
then,
that was, and it really
I
doesn't,
mean, it could still be a street, but
Just
nobody could
go
drive in
down.
it because they didn't have the gate closed to their property.
Oh,
Yeah, but you get.
township pay for the gate, or we got?
No, the fire department.
yeah, I do,
It's
yeah, I
on their
do.
property.
I've watched
At the
them
very
come
edge
through
of that,
there
and make an
as I'm working
electronic
on
gate
trucks and stuff, I
So
do.
that they, it's on,
Now,
and then they
you don't really
can, from
have
their
much
truck,
traffic,
open and close
people
it.
training,
And you know who's
teaching
gonna
people how to
have an
drive.
issy
It's
fit?
come back here on the grass
Brandy,
and drive in
because
the
she
car,
can't
then
get
that's-
past
drive
there
your
to
car,
get
run out,
through.
drive back in there going out.
Rick did bring up a good question.
Yeah, I have no answer for any of
I
that.
know, I get it, I just don't understand people.
Township property
She's gonna have
started
a
with
hissy fit.
And I can understand.
which was-
Yes, they get
So
back
what
to
do you
their
think we should
property.
do? I mean, just.
But, does she not have access through her property to
Like
get
you
to it?
say,
You know,
Well, I
He's
suppose if she
basically
drove through
saying
her
what you
yard,
just
it's
said.
just enough
Phone
room,
calls.
but not
Well,
now,
just keep
because she's got all that
just
wood
keep
pile.
walking behind you, use it.
goes over to the
Okay.
shed.
Yeah.
People never-
Further.
I
But,
personally,
yes, you're right.
I use it all the time.
But when you look at
Because I'm coming from the
It's
south
that's
end.
another
That's not what
battle.
it shows.
So
It
for
shows what
me,
that
it's
little thing
really,
here
it's
shows.
convenient.
It shows it stops at Green Street.
But it really
There is
is
not.
because when you
Whole
go
line with
Yeah,
the
that's
driveway.
right.
You're
I actually got
at
three
the
of these guys coming
Have
over
it done
now.
right. You
on
need
Apple
to-
Maps,
you have to have
using
someone
our
survey
location,
it,
you
and
put
I don't like the traffic.
that's the only way you
It
go
looks
down.
like
These
it's
maps,
it's the same size as all the other outlets, you know, there's no one behind the house.
I don't really
And my dog
think the
starts
size
acting
of
up. I
it
know
Well, I
what-
watched
has anything
I
to
watched
do
the guy,
with it.
even when I've got
because
blue
it
lights
was
on,
always-
I will come almost to a complete stop right there.
You got, you got.
Well, 'cause you don't know what's going on.
You got to stop my.
But I watched a guy the other day come through there and never stopped.
Well, it depends
And
on
I
which way
do
he's coming.
truthfully
He was
think
coming from Cary.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it never
Okay,
stopped.
Sign right
moving
there
on.
and the whole place.
I
You want me to
know.
sign this?
No, the
All right.
guy.
You want this back
No,
down?
no, no.
Okay.
I gave him my number. I said, if you get somebody that don't
So,
want
we
them,
got that
give me
figured
a
out
call.
at all,
I'll
or
come and get them.
just something we gotta look into?
We're gonna look into it.
Okay. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
All right, things are gonna stay how they are now, as they are. We will start together with some work sessions, let everybody know, and we'll work it like a job. Okay? All right,
I got you, yeah.
moving right along.
Do you wanna make a?
Hey, buddy. Chickens. Real quick, we move on. I have had numerous people since we put those first, since we started the hump project, asking for them all over town.
We need them all over town. They go just as fast down North Main from 38
Yeah.
down to Mineral Springs as they do on
And
the
then on
south
the
end.
opposite side of the tracks.
This here, to me, this is a test site.
Yeah,
If it works good and it seems to work, then we will put them south of the tracks, or south of 38, or
Yeah,
north of
and if we
38.
have to
Are
cut
we
these
gonna
out-
wait until we can afford the signs before we put them up?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see.
I hate to do
we can
that. I
find-
mean, that's like saying, let the kids.
There are companies
at their
out
own
there that
risk
will make
until we get the
DOT
money to
signs
sign. No.
cheaper than what other companies do. They're cutthroats. And that's what I'm going after. But if there's a
Right.
process of setting up accounts and getting it, because we can't just buy it, we can't pay sales tax on it. So I've gotta set up these accounts to get it set up.
Right,
They're-
but when they just come up before we have a sign up, I don't think we should be putting them out there until we got a sign up. Cause you got people driving over them and they're hurting their vehicles, you know?
We haven't even talked.
And if they hurt their vehicles, that's dangerous.
But some aren't going fast. You don't have to be going fast. If I drove the speed limit in my little car over that,
And it's a plate that breaks
you would
away.
destroy my car.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
we
they
don't.
don't cost that much.
Maybe they're too hot.
How you think we bought the sign?
There's no way I could go 20 miles per hour over that, not in my car.
Well, good.
No way.
You don't speed anyway.
I don't. And I
How
really
many
don't
people
over
see
them.
me
You
speed
can.
down?
And honestly, you're not supposed to, because you're not supposed to go over speed hump and 20
And I
miles.
don't. But I'm saying, like Donnie couldn't see him. It was dark when he come over him. If I'd done that in my car at night,
But I don't go fast
it'd have
enough.
destroyed my car and I'd been pretty upset.
And that's what it would have done to my little Beamer too.
Are they paying?
See?
Are they?
So I mean, I understand that.
That's why I'm saying, I think we should do this in the proper
And I've
process.
had to warn all my firefighters too.
Yeah,
Because, you know,
they're
they're
gonna
gonna launch a truck.
Yeah, yeah.
They're slowing people down.
Oh, and they will, more so. And you're gonna hear a serious complaint about it before it gets better, but it will get better, I
I'll
think.
tell you.
I've had both from people coming across them as we've been building them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I look at it this way, I'd rather a car get hurt than a kid.
That's
I'm
what
saying
we're
that right now.
doing.
That's why I look at it. I'd rather pay for a ar than bury a kid. And we've already had a kid almost get hit, like, what, a couple weeks ago?
Speaking of children getting hurt, there was couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old riding a bicycle down the middle of 38 today.
Do we know who it was?
No, I don't. I laid on the air horn on the engine, scared him half to death, but I'm hoping it did.
Or was this out in the country or in the city?
Right here,
In the city?
right here.
I remember Scotty Clark doing wheelies all the way from your house all the way to Hagerstown almost in the middle of 38 back in the day.
I can picture that.
On a 26-inch bicycle. Kids are gonna be kids.
I know.
All we can do is try to minimize the possibility of them getting hurt the best we can, and then it's on their parents. Parents have got to step up.
They don't.
They
Yeah.
ain't gonna have that. Especially.
My child would never
right
do
across
that.
the tracks.
Is your key answer.
Ain't gonna happen.
It's because you're gonna beat them half to death.
It's because society says, Joe, you can't walk your kids.
Okay, if we're done with appearance by citizens, and we are, we're gonna hear
Yeah,
from,
everything.
Bush?
Everybody good?
I'm trying to fiddle that thing. All right, Rick, what you got, buddy?
Ben got swore in, so, buddy came in and, got him swore in. The LPR, Brenda, is to be, it will be, reimbursed, July 1st. That's our first cycle.
Okay.
So, after that gets reimbursed and the money is done to the town, then we'll go to we'll order the next group of stuff. But I'm waiting until that comes in before I order anything else.
When to be done with it?
He said that
October?
yeah, the next one will be October, and then one after that will be January. Unless we come into money that we didn't know about.
They got a grant.
Well, we do July and then we do
Chicken permit fee.
October. We're doing it in 3 increments, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and I didn't put it on here. I thought Brad was coming from the county commissioners. He had a agreement that he needed for us to sign, but I'll reach out to him and see where, buddy, if you see him in the next couple of days.
Agreement for what, Rick?
Where the county is donating about $15,000
yes.
to the police department.
I left something in my mailbox.
Yeah, AIM, yeah, I get that all done.
You're the AIM coordinator.
Got a new IDs, and then I sent the prosecutor copies of some calls that have came into town in reference to invasion of privacy. So she's going to look at that to see how it applies to the no contact order that was issued. So hopefully we'll see some progress there. And then just found out yesterday, got a $200 grant from Harbor Freight. They give us one every year, so I think it's went up though. It used to be 150, now it's 200.
You got anything you plan on using it for at this point?
Probably be a tool or something for the car, keeping the car.
Anything else, Rick?
No, that's about it.
Tell you a good thing you could use that money for is one of those lockout tools with the I think it's 3/8 diameter, got a handle on it, you got a wedge you can pound in.
I already got those.
You got that?
Yeah, oh, I've had that for 20 years, yeah. Because it's got a bag that you can inflate and a wedge to go in it, yep.
Does anybody have
There's
any?
a cheaper lockout tool, it's called a hammer.
I don't know, have you seen some of these
punch
signs?
tool to break the window.
Carry one,
Have you
too.
seen these new glass windows?
Oh, you can't break them.
You can't break them.
They're
Not even with the
laminated.
punch tool?
Not even with a hammer.
They're
I mean, with a
laminated.
38?
They're laminated.
9mm?
You gotta
a
get
gun
close
to go
to the
through it.
edge.
Yeah, you gotta
I used
cut
to
'em
make
like you do a
automotive glass.
windshield.
It's gotta be close to the edge to break it. You could beat it in the center all you want.
No, they won't, they still won't shine
And
them.
the new ones are laminated.
They're laminated, you gotta cut them like you do a
old
windshield.
glass.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah. But
That's horrible.
I bet it is.
Ooh, that's not
Does
good.
anybody have
that
any
was it
questions?
though, I have it for Brad.
Does anybody have any questions for Rick?
Make a motion.
I make a motion, we accept Rick's police report.
Okay, never mind. I was just gonna ask if
Oh, I'm sorry.
the grass stuff was, you said that was taken care of, though, right?
What is it?
I don't know, we sent out the letters.
I know the
Nobody's
property
complaining.
next to
Oh,
me
I
got cut.
I gave her the list last meeting, so she
Our
already
neighbors
sent the
got
letters
cut
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
He
seem to
signed
be
it.
getting cut.
Our neighbors
Yeah.
finally got mowed.
Yeah.
Okay, then they reached their destination, because the one next to me got cut too.
Okay.
All right, that's all I was trying to find out.
And I think Ty's got cut.
Yeah, it did.
All right, that tells us they got there.
Buddy should probably cut there anyways.
I make a motion, we accept the police
I'll
report.
second that.
Motion's been made, properly seconded to accept the police report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say the same. Thank you. Sewer plant. Darlene Drewley's not here. How's the poop flowing?
Still running.
Still running, still going, got
Still
drinking
going,
water going
yes.
to the creek, right?
Yes, no violations, everything's still running good.
Excuse me.
Good. Good. Facilities coordinator. Well, that ain't you. We gotta do her first, ain't it?
It doesn't matter.
Nope. Go ahead, Doug.
Excuse me.
Got the boxes made, start on the storm drains up on Maple Street. That's gonna be quite intensive. We've gotta dig a lot of dirt.
Oh, you are gonna go ahead and dig the street up.
Yeah, we got to, we ain't got a choice. The storm drains have completely collapsed up there.
And that's another reason to support why we put the speed humps in, because our original plan was we was hoping to pave. We would have had to tear up Main south of the track, completely rip it all up and put down new pavement. The expense up there on Maple is going to be to we're not going to be able to afford that, so that's why we went with the speed hump, to slow it down for the children. Go ahead, Doug, sorry.
So anyway, State Highway did say that they do have two steel plates they're gonna loan us. so we can keep traffic rolling. Rick's guy is gonna loan us a dump truck and a skid steer, so that'll save us a little expense. He does have a mini excavator that we could borrow, but it's too small. It's not gonna do the work that we need it to do, so we're still gonna have to get one. Backhoe is just too big and bulky up there. I'd be destroying everybody's yard, and probably somebody's front porch, trying to get it up in there and dig that.
So what is his friend online?
His dump truck and a skid steer.
Dump truck?
And a skid steer.
Mainly for backfill.
And a skid
It
steer.
works quicker.
That saves us quite a bit right there.
Yeah, it will.
Anything else, Doug?
Hopefully, not this coming week, but the following week, we're planning to start on that.
On Maple?
Yes.
Done patching.
Yes. What we had to do is whatever we had left from each mound we used that to patch with, and then we just had to get rid of whatever was getting cold on us, wherever we could get rid of it at.
Yeah, that's hot mix, wasn't it?
Yeah. So as it starts getting cold, you gotta get it out of there before it hardens up on you.
Better putting in, filling potholes with that in the cold patch.
Oh, yeah.
The cold patch sat there a little while, it just.
It just explodes and disappears and.
Cold patch, for the price you best get for the hot mix, cold patch is ridiculous. It's like, we figured up at one time, like $1,000 a ton. You get ton over there in Milton for like $75, hot stuff, but you gotta be able to get it in while it's still hot.
Yeah, I think they probably doubled that now, but.
Yeah.
Still, is the asphalt that high again?
Yeah.
But
Well,
you're
it's
gonna
that
get
time of
two,
year, everybody's.
It's election year. Must have something to do
you're gonna
with
get
it.
two steel plates on the state.
Yeah,
Good.
that would be.
You got anything else,
Tell
Doug?
me. Not that I can think of. There probably is, but I can't think of it.
Anybody got any questions? Doug is our town coordinator. He's coordinator.
Flunky, please. Flunky.
All right, I'll make a motion, we accept his, Doug's verbal town coordinator report.
Second.
Motion been made, properly seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say the same. Thank you.
Not today, not today.
Building Commissioner Bob Bullock's not here, so we don't have to worry about
We have
that.
to go back to her.
Excuse me?
She's next.
All right.
You gonna sit here?
No.
You can have this seat.
No.
Sewer utility monthly income and disbursements.
Okay, in May, we did take in $60,000, dispersed 15. And so far this year, we have taken a little bit more than what we have dispersed. Of course, we've taken in sewer lanes, we took in 4,600, almost 4,700 in sewer lanes, so that helped. We do have sewer overdue and we got trash overdue. On May the 1st, when we done utility billing, we had 13 accounts that was in the 90 days delinquency. But we were lucky to get in most of the payments, and the clerk treasurer only had to do 3 new sewer liens in May. And right now, there are 36 outstanding sewer liens yet to be paid through the Wayne County Treasurer's Department. That's a long process. When you do a sewer lien, you have to wait until probably sometimes 6 months or more to get paid for it, because they only pay twice a year when taxes are paid.
But you filed liens every 90
Every
days.
month.
What,
I don't
first
think
one is after 90 days?
after 90 days.
And then
yeah.
every 30 days?
Yeah. Well, if an account goes into 90 days, you do a sewer lien, and if they pay, you don't have to worry about it. But I don't think there's a month that has went by that we haven't had to do a sewer lien.
Now, the trash overdue, are we still sending that? If it's 90 days to collection agency?
No.
We're not
It didn't do
doing,
any good.
didn't do any good.
Not that much. It wasn't worth the effort that we put into it.
Okay.
No. But we do have sewer lien overdue, but we have a lot of people that's paying out in advance. I've got customers that pay the whole year at a time. They don't wanna be bothered with it monthly, and that's fine. They pay out a year at a time.
I didn't know we could do that.
Well, sure, yeah, if you were to, I had one customer that paid out 6 months, and then she called, she said, I sent the wrong check to you. I didn't mean to, but, I mean, we'd already deposited.
Right.
She had made it to the town, and, you know, so she was okay with it though. But I have a lot of customers that pay out ahead, and that's fine if you wanna pay a whole year. I have a guy that had 2 properties here in town, he paid the whole year. He didn't wanna be bothered every month. So, right now, we have taken out a little bit more this year than what we paid out, but that could change at any time, just ask Doug. We could have pumps go out, whatever, you know, and pumps are what, twice the price they used to be, or 3 times the price.
3 times.
3 times the price they used to be.
9,000-10,000 now?
Depends on which pump.
Yeah.
What's it called, the
The Ceremis.
Ceremis?
Yeah.
And what are
That's it.
those average
The
costs?
small ones were around 900, now they're around 2,200. And the big ones are now 6,000 each.
Yeah, a pump,
And they were 23.
yeah. So they've tripled in price, everything has, yeah.
But they've lasted us longer than anything we've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
saying.
That's your go-to.
Yeah, I mean, we were with the barns, and the barns, we were replacing them once a year. We were smoking them.
And when we have citizens here, I like to bring up the fact, because a lot of people don't know that you guys pay $10 a month for trash. The town pays $12.50 per unit for your trash.
It's more than that now, isn't it?
No, I think it's $12.50 or $12.75
Well,
maybe.
yeah, it went, I think it's about 13, it goes out each year, they.
We had a
done
5-year
We had a
contract.
5-year contract, which was good.
Yeah, what's it gonna go to when that runs out?
It's not
Whatever.
gonna be good.
So we are trying to keep the prices down, but as you can hear, the way things go up, at some point, we may not be able to. But I think we've done a real good job. Last time we had a sewer hike, it was, I think I sat up there at the community center and said, we'll do this and guarantee it for 3 to 5 years, and I think that's been 10 years ago.
Yep,
So,
it has been.
knock on wood.
Yeah, if you pay yourself, Rumpke, it's like $100 in advance for 3 months. If you're outside of city limits and you have Rumpke. I know, because I paid it for years.
Anybody have any questions of Nita?
Nope. Make a motion, we accept her report.
I'll second that.
Motion been made, properly seconded to accept Nita's sewer utility monthly income and disbursements report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say the same. Thank you. Motion carries. Street report, as Doug is saying, those guys have been working on speed humps and been working on making boxes for Maple Street to fix the sewer main problem up there, and
Storm drain.
signs, they are working.
Oh, the storm drains are brick, according to Doug, and they have just crumbled. Yeah.
The infrastructure's out.
And they've been in there for, maybe Donnie could tell us. Donnie, you could probably tell us how.
He was there when they was new, wasn't you, Donnie?
Yeah, you were little when they put in, weren't you, Donnie?
Make fun of me, I got some people about, just about as old as me, but not quite.
Just telling you you're a relic.
Yeah.
Huh?
Anita's older than you. He'll be 80 in September.
He's already 80.
I'm already 80.
I
Are
went to
you
his
80
80th
already?
birthday party.
I'll be 81 September.
Well, I
Okay.
turned 18 in October.
He is old.
Hey, he's doing pretty good.
What are you, 4 or 5 behind me?
No, a lot more than that. 9.
Unfinished business, speed humps and paving. We've really hit all that. We're not gonna be able to pave, that's why they're doing the speed humps. There are signs gonna be ordered. There's gonna be paint on them also. They got arrows on some of them right now.
And they do have reflective glass in the paint, so
Okay,
that'll help at night too.
that's the same stuff they use from the railroad
Yes.
crossing. And if we, speaking of railroad crossings and any signs, have we checked with Mike over at the county?
All the
Give him a
railroad
call
signs?
tomorrow to see if he's got it. Even if it's used, we can use them, you
Yeah.
know? So I will get with the county tomorrow and ask Mike if he's got anything like that. Internal controls, corrective action plan still under review. Explain that a little bit there, Anita.
Okay. When we were audited for 5 years, the auditor sat here at the table and said, we don't worry about you guys, we know you're honest, but going forward, you need to redo your internal controls plan. You need to add to them, you need more, what?
Security.
Skipper. So we have been working on that, especially Bud. He's come up with the idea of
Thank you, dear.
They wrote it up for them once, but they
counting
weren't.
where we're taking the deposits and stuff to the bank, all the checks and stuff, and checking everything in. When we get direct deposit from the state, he checks that email that comes in and what they deposit and what we receive in. When we get direct deposits from the county, he checks that email, how much comes in on that, and the receipt where we receipt it in. We did get direct deposit from the county recently for a fund. We weren't supposed to get it, it was unrestricted, but we had to receipt it in, didn't we? So we had to make a receipt for that, and he checked that. And we'll have to pay it back to the county.
But he can have it,
But
Thank you.
we are working on the internal controls.
And we did, everybody knows, I think the last time you guys were here, we talked about the State Board of Accounts and come in and inspected us and charged us $15,000.
Almost 16.
You guys know
almost
all that,
17.
right? Just throwing that out there. That way when somebody else takes our job, they know what to expect.
Yeah, but they done 5 years.
Anybody got any other questions of anything, of anybody for anything? Go once.
Did you say something about chickens?
Oh, no.
That we've already settled that issue.
Yeah, we said bark, 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 bark. So, if there's no other questions, I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
Motion been made, proper second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say the same. Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah.